Hi. He's having fun in the back and you can't hear yet. There you go.
Shark.
We're all good now.
Chat.
Hi.
Hey,
Yeah,
chat.
they can hear you now. We're good.
Hello.
Hello to our
Welcome,
dedicated
chat.
fan. We appreciate you spectating this evening.
Yes.
You did it.
We got a little sidetracked
Did it.
before starting this time, so it's okay.
Yep.
A little bit
Yes,
longer
we
of a
did.
break, but that's fine.
We were busy.
We were fighting
Yes.
crime.
We're level 5 now, though, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone is now
Everyone
level
gets all of
5.
their cool abilities for the most part.
Some big abilities that kind of come up at level 5 for some
I
people.
feel like I feel like a big one is the multi-attack for most people.
Yeah,
like the
multi-attack for the
classes.
marshals is really big.
Darian Sentinel gets multi-attack. Jamie and Arthur get uncanny dodge, which is
No, we don't. No, we do not. Some of us have been building to this for a minute.
Oh,
Okay, okay. So,
what did you multi-class into?
Yeah,
I'm a-
we can talk. We
can figure that out later.
Let him surprise.
Yes,
Okay.
99.
My little tricks
Okay.
last session were a surprise. So let Jamie.
I-
let
Okay,
Jamie
I
okay.
have a 99%
I
idea of
also-
what you're doing.
I have a surprise too for someone, but we'll reveal that in just a
Yes.
second.
Oh, boy.
when
There's
we
so
get
many
going.
surprises.
Yes. It's an action-packed session with
Yeah,
no
it's a
actual
surprise
action.
session here. So everyone's not waiting in bated anticipation for all these amazing surprises that are about to happen. I will go ahead and do a quick recap. So, with the party kind of having like galore within Arthur, leading them to this mausoleum of Berkeley, they headed out with Tetra and just Tetra, actually, not Jayla. You guys headed out to the mausoleum where you met a Trent, or a giant walking tree, who guarded the entrance to the mausoleum. He was kind of like, hey, yo, like, I can't let you in because, you know, grave robbers and stuff. And Sentinel, being a guardian fowl, managed to convince the guardian to let them in. Which turns out that this Trent, who also bears the name Berkeley as well, knew a guardian fowl at some point, and they did some stuff together. So, you know, good stuff for them.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, the party gained access to the mausoleum, and they headed inside of it, worked their way through it until they found the vault, where Galore opened the vault for them, and they started to explore it. They found a mosaic picture of some dwarves. Didn't seem to do anything. I will let everyone know that it would have done something if you would have failed your saves, but everyone succeeded, so y'all good.
Good thing I had advantage because I rolled poorly.
Headed up to the second floor. Jamie decided to climb up one of the poles and make his way back to the party, and upon doing that, he ended up encountering a purple like slime creature. Purple pudding. And the party got into a combat with that, and that thing was pretty powerful and did a number on the party, but they still managed to defeat it. After some puzzles related to the vault, the party managed to find their way down into the lower vault, where they met Oronat, a dwarf kind of wizard guy who seemed pretty old, pretty knowledgeable. He was the guardian of this vault, and he was guarding the treasure, which looked like to be this huge pile of gold, but he was very clear that it was not a huge pile of gold. Upon stepping closer, the party realized that the treasure that they had been led to believe was this mass amount of money, I believe 500,000 golden crowns. It turned out to be a single wooden treasure chest, which Arthur opened and revealed a single map piece. Oranox explained to the party that this map piece was one of 5, which would lead whoever assembled all 5 of them to a weapon that was capable of ending all the beckonings once and for all. And for those that need a refresher on beckonings, this is the cataclysmic event that Elyssia suffers, where the undead rise and destroy the living. Currently, most of the time the party would be, or not the party, but like the people of Elyssia would be able to stop these beckonings, but the mode in which they stop them has been destroyed or lost. So this is a bit of a big deal. Safe to say the party was pretty pissed, considering they were expecting 500 golden crowns to, you know, repair their inn, retire lavishly, have the best life ever. And instead they got this useless map piece. Well, realizing that most likely they were stuck with this thing and they were probably going to get dragged further into this conflict, as the party went to leave, Galore within Eric said, you know what? I'm bored. And decided to summon Xanthro, Sliva, and Ansem all into the lower realms of the vault, where a huge fight broke out. In this fight, pretty much any of the lackeys that the three big bads brought were killed. Ansem was beat up pretty badly. Xanthro was nearly killed by Arthur after he was knocked unconscious, or he was put to sleep, using the poison blade that the party had obtained from Ursel Flossen, Xanthro's own minion.
Yeah.
I got one of those poisons too.
Oh yeah.
And I have
Xanthro-
one too, but not the blade. I just have the poison.
Yeah.
Poison dart or an
some
arrow.
darts and stuff.
Xanthro
crossbow.
still lived, and to escape, he broke his staff over his knee, created this huge explosion. He vanished. It killed a bunch more people, knocked Arthur out, nearly knocked Sentinel out, blasted Ansem and Sliva, leaving them on death's door, where Sentinel slipped around and impaled Sliva through the head with his beak axe, and ended the Flum boss once and for all. And that is where we will begin tonight's session.
Hell yeah.
In the aftermath of the battle, you all look down at the carnage below you. Bugbears, humans, undead skeletons are littered about. Though frankly, the only body of note is of the hobbling crime boss that had done so much to mess with your party. He does not move. There's clearly a large gaping axe-sized slit within the back of his head. And Ansem, who stands over Sliva's body while Sentinel stands kind of to the back of it, looks down, sees that the opponent that he's been fighting against this entire time is dead. He takes a deep breath, draws out his pistol, and he points it at you, Sentinel. All right, my little cheeky tendy. I don't know what in the hell's going on here right now, but you guys had some form of treasure. A treasure that I've been seeking for quite a while here. So I'm going to make things easy for you and ask that you hand it over peacefully. No need to have any more bodies, deaths, any of those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen enough death and dying today. We don't need, an Ansem on our hands, and so.
Well then, do you think you, a very large and imposing chicken, but a chicken, and the small, shorter men that are around me could deal with the illustrious Ansem Rictavio, Slayer of Giants?
Wait.
I say, how is he looking?
Bad.
Yeah, terrible. He got
Well,
blasted.
he's talking to, he's talking to someone who has one health point left as well. So we're both not looking all that great.
That's
so.
fair, but it is what 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm
5.
You know
healthy
who
right
now.
is looking? You know who is looking completely unharmed? Me.
And Tetra. Tetra's well, yeah, Tetra
and
too.
also
I'm
Tetra's
alright
looking
too.
pretty rough too. She got
hit,
beat
yeah,
up
yeah.
There
pretty
are
bad.
5 of us though. In
There-
fairness.
and we're
There are
all-
a lot of us.
and we can heal, and I don't think that he has the ability to do that.
We're saying all of these things while
Yeah,
Ansem.
and you guys are kind of piping up about all of this. Tetra kind of just steps forward and she's like, Ansem, you stupid fuck. Look at it. Do we need any more bloodshed? I don't like you, but do you really want to get killed here? Well, when you put it that way, I understand exactly what you're saying. Why flood the vault with 6 more bodies when we could all just walk out of here without anyone being more hurt than they are? Does that sound good to everyone?
I mean,
Yeah.
I
That-
Yeah.
suppose these
Yeah.
terms are fine.
This guy sucks.
Pretty sure that murders.
Remember that good Mr. Octavio opted to spare all
Yeah,
of your
uh-huh.
lives.
Okay.
Now, the treasure, though, is another matter. What is it? Gold, riches, beyond your wildest dreams. Something that maybe through a bit of negotiation we could come to a fair deal. A fair deal that will leave with everyone here walking away with their lives.
Is that illusion still up, or is it
No, it's completely
dissipated?
No, it went away.
completely
Okay.
gone.
Well, we have our friend here. He can explain to you, as he
Oh,
did
yeah.
to us. You know,
I'm gonna
So I
wait for
point
him
over to
be
him.
as cryptic as possible.
yeah. Our friend has explained to us. Ansem, I just want to prepare you. It's not the treasure you think that it is. It's not what you think it is. And we're all very surprised. We're all very upset. We really didn't want to come here and find out, what the treasure actually was. But this man can explain it to you, as he explained to us.
Oh, yes, of course. The treasure of Nebraska is not gold or riches. It is what lives deep inside the heart. What will end all suffering within the world. Ansem just looks at you, Sentinel, and goes, "What in the hell does that mean?"
I believe it means something like it's the friends we made along the way or something. I don't know.
Nah,
Are you telling me that this treasure, that I lost my ship over, that I've lost men over, and that I've staked myself here in high water for a few weeks is nothing more than a poof of air?
And
Yep.
it exactly was
Yeah,
that. Yes.
sounds about right. Yeah, you nailed it right on the head.
We're as pissed as you are.
Goddess be
Yeah.
damned, it's Meteor all over again. Do you know how many times this happens to a treasure hunter like me, where you hear about some huge mystical treasure that's going to make your name and it turns out to be a fart and a whisper?
Oh,
Yeah.
more often than not.
Yeah, I don't
I
really.
believe that.
I don't keep track on treasure.
I don't
hunter
buy
stuff.
things.
This is kind of our first rodeo
Yeah,
in treasure
honestly.
hunting.
It is completely obvious it is your first rodeo here. If you were like me, Ansem Octavio Trademark, you would know that
Yeah.
the means to find a treasure is by using the people around you who understand the mechanics to find the treasure.
Yeah.
See, that was where you erred.
You're
Yeah,
not so
we-
much of
we
a
failed to
treasure
do that.
hunter. You're just more of like a treasure, sit back on your ass and have it handed to you. Or
I consider myself a treasure hunter that prescribes to the vulture's mentality of finding treasure.
At least
Oh,
he owns
so-
up
okay,
to it,
well.
I guess.
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
a
yeah.
degree.
That's probably why he's still alive.
Did
you
he?
can subscribe to anything you like, I guess.
Did we all hear that though? He trademarked his own name. Like,
Yep.
I mean,
I'm not sure what a
can you
trademark
even
is,
do
but-
that?
Probably.
I'm not sure
I mean,
what
I'm
trademark is either.
trying.
But
I've been trying for a while, and I don't know who to go to. I should ask someone about that.
maybe you can ask Ansem. Apparently, he's done it.
Ansem, how do you trademark your own name? I'm thinking, Sentinel, the People's Champion, the Big Kahuna, the Wild Winged One, that I'm trying to trademark that, trying to
Well,
really
it's a
make people know
particularly
what that is.
Particularly difficult process. It involves quite a bit of paperwork being sent to the capital and Pregla. You know who the most successful trademarker is? It's that hobbling that came up with that whole Drangler thing. Now
Ah.
that is an impressive feat
Yes.
of trademarking.
I
I
don't understand.
Yes.
We actually know him.
I know we do. I don't
Dude.
understand how he does not have those
I'll
resources.
be 100% honest and say I don't believe you. If you want to talk about some of the most famous people in all of Elyssia, Meepo ranks among the top echelon. If I were to look at it, you have King Alistair, Ansem Octavio, and then Meepo the Drangler as the three most important figures in the world.
What a
and if
list.
you want, you can throw the champion Jayla in there too, but she might be like 7th on the rung.
Arthur is just going to blankly, dumbly stare at Ansem,
Yeah,
so
no.
confused as to how
Oh, yeah.
quickly.
I actually
Makes me
also
so
don't believe that
happy.
these guys know Meepo, because as someone who actually does know who knows that Meepo is famous, I actually don't believe that you guys know Meepo.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you guys also know one of the 9 beings of existence that are Sentinel chickens or whatever, and
Guardian
you
fowls.
also, Guardian fowls, and you also know like
That's good.
other magical beings that are
Just happened to
inconsequential.
us.
See,
So I'm
my
just
name
like-
is already being trademarked. It's like Kleenex.
Oh,
You know, you don't call it tissue. It's you know, you don't call them guardian fowls. You call them sentinel chickens.
Or band
It's already it's working. It's making.
Oh man.
Sometimes it's better for your name to be infamous than it is for it to be famous.
I don't know about that.
Oh. You know what they say, any publicity is good publicity.
That is
Since there
not.
seems to be no
said
treasure
it
or
was.
no treasure of note, I guess I will take my leave knowing that I, Ansem Octavio, almost single-handedly took down an entire army myself. A fair tale to add to my stories.
I mean, that's technically true.
That's not
So I
Yeah,
can't
to a
even-
degree, that is.
I don't even
Army
know.
might
You
be a
all
bit of
to
an
make me a-
embellishment, but
I need
You
us
know
all
what?
to make a gentleman's agreement, or ladies' agreement, not counting the lady in the room.
I'm gonna look.
We're
around.
not gonna talk about this sort of situation that happened here today. And I'm going to go about my business hunting treasures and banging beautiful maidens, and you're going to go about your business being lowly commoners who uncovered a
Mhm.
fake treasure. And if I ever see you get in my business, I will shoot you in the head faster than you can say, I will shoot you in the head. Does that sound like a fair agreement?
well, that
Works for me.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
on one condition, Ansem, which I don't think your ego will take mine to. If you could perpetuate the idea that it was you who killed Sliva,
Of
would be
course!
great. Please take full
Yes,
credit for that.
please.
Of course! I will be glad to share that I disposed of this disgusting creature. Well then, it seems that my work here is done. You have all
Mhm.
been saved by me.
Mhm.
Yep.
Excelsior! And he just
Yeah.
takes off.
As he leaves, I'll be like, "Have fun walking home."
Yeah, how's he gonna get back? I don't even know how we.
I'm-
get back.
nah,
No, whatever. It
Well,
doesn't
let him be.
matter.
Tetra watches her leave and she just looks at you guys and she says, You know, I've known him for several years. I think that might be his way of telling you all that he actually likes you.
You know,
That's
I would have
that's a
rather he
shame.
shot me at this point now.
Doesn't change my
The
opinion.
Feeling is so not mutual.
Oh yeah, no, that
I
is the
don't even
most
know how to say it.
one-sided.
No, it's not mutual at all in any capacity.
No, of course not.
Anyway, I'm gonna search Sliva's
Surprised
body
he
and
bought
I
fix it up.
should have
without
asked him
trying
for
to
another
take
business
some
card.
money or something.
So Jamie, you do uncover from Sliva's body 700 gold pieces.
Oh jeez.
Oh, you know? Holy
And-
shit! All right.
You uncover his staff of the eye.
Ooh.
Ooh, spicy.
700. Oh no, get back over here. 700 gold. Sweet.
Is that being made known to the party, or are you pocketing that yourself, Jamie?
Oh no, I mean I would
Wait,
tell
pardon,
everybody
yes.
that
Party
I found
fund?
it.
Are we splitting that, or are we gonna make that party fund?
I'll take away the 700. I already have a lot of gold from stealing from the other guy,
That's 700.
so my personal shit is good to go.
So did you say you're gonna hand over the 700, or?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
I'll take the thing and I'll be like, we got gold to help fix up our inn. It costs like $600 to get it made in the first place, or 600 gold to make it happen in the first place. So that, in and of itself, should at least get the thing started.
I should get the
Yep, to get
repairs
I like
going.
that.
Get the repairs started.
I'm good forfeiting my share to go to the inn.
Honestly, it was
That's what
Sliva
I'm
who
doing.
blew up the inn. So
no.
I
It's
think
only fair he
yeah.
pays for it. Yeah.
It wasn't Sliva, was
No,
it?
no,
It was
no.
someone.
It was
Xantho.
Virtual Watson that blew
Yeah,
up
yeah.
the inn.
Virtual Flotsam blew up the inn.
it's his guy who ran past our inn. So let's
Correct.
just say he blew up the inn.
That's
He was a
partially
part
his
of it.
fault. Yeah.
He was part of it.
We've got. Well, that means as part of party gold, we have 1,075 gold pieces.
And
in
now
party.
with our new teller of tales, I'm gonna give the old man a pat on the back. The Zafar Inn 2 will be even better than the first one.
Well, now that I have no outwardly job, having something to do might actually be beneficial to me.
The
Perhaps
staff.
I could tell stories at the inn, or I could serve as its proprietor when you are out.
Exactly, and we
Yes.
have the best grilled cheese maker in the entire continent.
Oh, even better. Why, I haven't had such a endeavor since I was a gold dragon that flew over the lands of Elyssia some 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
What?
definitely the thing that happened. Sure.
I'm not even.
Arthur's gonna take out a piece of paper and a quill of some kind that he takes out of his hat and cross off the one that was hidden by the dragon off his list of map pieces.
What
There you
does
go.
the staff of eye do?
The Staff of
That's a
Eye
good
does
question.
nothing because you have no idea how to access its powers.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I'm gonna use it for my other thing that I'm doing
There
later.
you go.
Totally
Also,
breaking it.
I am
That's
going to
fine.
show the first surprise to the party here,
Surprise.
which, if it will load,
I'm waiting in anticipation.
Quick,
Come on.
internet, cut out.
And the surprise is
Jeez.
yes, literally.
Hopefully, we don't have
Oh,
any problems. I haven't had
Roll
problems
roll
with it for a
20 is
while.
being extra crappy right now, so just give
told
me
you.
one second.
That is the only
Roll
issue we
20.
might have is roll 20.
You mean the nondescript platform we use to display our characters that may eventually be a
Alright,
sponsor of our
You
show?
should now see the new artwork for Mr. Darian Kipps.
I will have to
Oh,
update this
Oh,
stuff.
I did not know this was coming. That's so
I,
cool.
I will
Look at that.
update the stuff for next time.
That is
Did
so
we-
cool.
Where's his
Wow,
horns?
that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
forgot
have
to
antlers
Sam, your
anymore.
antlers. I didn't think about that. That's
They
That's-
fell off.
that's fine.
They fell
We
off.
can add
the
we can add them then.
Imagine
Photoshop.
Add it in post. Add it in post.
Add
His
it in post.
long.
It
They're
looks
covering
so
him up.
awesome.
I
That
mean,
does
your
look
current
Good
artwork
job,
doesn't have
Sam.
antlers in it either.
He's giving me Dark Jack from Jack and Daxter vibes. It's cool.
nice.
It's like
Thinking
the
Danny
evil
Oh,
version.
very Danny
Yeah, I was gonna-
Phantom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Danny
super
Phantom,
Danny
he was
Phantom.
just 14 when his parents.
Oh, that
built
looks
a
so
very strange
cool.
thing.
The only problem is Danny Phantom has green eyes.
Yeah.
He does.
He's
in the
Nega
song.
Danny Phantom.
Glowing green eyes, in fact, not just green eyes.
He had snow
he can
white
walk
hair
through walls
and
and
glowing
glowing
green
green
disappear and fly. He's much more unique than the other guy. In fact, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's
he was.
all
He
in
was.
the lore.
That's all canon.
Alright.
The Danny
That was funny.
Phantom.
So would you guys, now that you are done with Ansem, you
There you
have
go.
looted
Update
Sliva's body, are you ready to leave the vault?
Archer
Yes.
will kind of see if anything was left behind in the blast from our Lord Necromancer friend.
There, you do find the 2 remnants of his staff.
Okay, I'll take those.
Okay, you've taken 2. You can just write staff remnants on your sheet.
I suppose I'll loot whatever's left. Any of the other bodies. The
Yeah, there would be some
bugbears,
golden
some-
stuff.
Some
Let's see here.
bandits from Sliva, all of that stuff.
As you kind of loot, since they're all kind of hireds, you don't find anything on the skeletons from Ansem's group, or I'm sorry, from Xanthar's group. But from Sliva's bandits and Ansem's bugbears, you uncover about 16 gold pieces.
Alright.
Dupe.
I am going to, before we leave and set out, I am going to kick Brock's dead body one time.
Yeah.
I will do
I guess-
that too.
Both of you kick Brock's dead body.
He
It is
deserves
still
it.
dead. It's still very dead.
Good.
All right, you guys leave the vault, climbing up the stairs, making your way across the bridges and out through the mausoleum the way that you came.
As
as
we're,
you-
sorry, as we're
No, go
walking
ahead.
out, I am gonna mention to Sentinel. Not sure how you feel about giving Ansem the credit for your noble kill there against Sliva, but I figured it might be behoove us not to have just one of the possible things that could bite us not come back for us. Just this
Yeah.
once.
Ooh, I actually had a completely different plan with this, so I'm gonna let you guys have the go.
I think we need more people hunting us down than we already have.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm ready to go back into just normal life. We enjoyed the high life for a little bit. It's good to just get the inn back going.
Oh,
So I'm all right with not taking any credit and putting some targets on our backs.
You're a good man, Sentinel. Thank
You
you
are
for
as
doing
well.
what none of us else could.
Well, I mean, everybody wanted to, but
Just because
Maybe not
didn't mean they could.
Dr. Watts. But I understand. Thanks, Arthur.
All right, you guys make your way up out of the mausoleum. You lock the door, which your Trent Berkeley friend kind of comes back to life for a moment and sees you do that, and he nods approvingly before he returns back to his tree form. And you return to the Zafar Inn here. It's relatively late at night at this point. Didn't seem like time necessarily changed in any capacity while you were in this other dimension dealing with all of this stuff. Anything you guys would like to do?
I have something specific that I would like to do.
Okay.
That is fine. I'm going to my room. I'm not doing anything.
I'm going to my room.
I will
Go
check
my
on my
room.
herbs and then go to
Yeah.
bed.
Arthur?
No, I'm hitting hay as well.
Good.
I am
Pretty-
beat. I
It was a
am-
pretty
Check out-
crazy day. I don't
I-
Check on your herbs, Darian. They look good. Jamie, what would you like to do?
Ooh, I don't know if I would want to. I don't know if I'd want to bring Sentinel with me. I am
Do it.
gonna ask if Sentinel. I'm gonna ask if Sentinel has a minute.
Yeah, anything for you, Dr. Watts. Of course.
We're about to do something that is a little risky, but all I need you to do is stand there and be menacing. Can you do that for me, Sentinel?
I will try my hardest. You know, I can be pretty intimidating.
I sure do.
I don't want to scare you, Dr. Watts.
It
Sure.
is a constant state of terror for me, Sentinel, but I appreciate your effort into making me feel calm.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so then because I was gonna say, yeah, I should probably bring at least one person who would be able to do something about things if things go sideways. I would want to patch up Sentinel best I could, so give you at least
You
me
used your
check.
healer's kit on him last time? I don't believe you did.
I don't think I actually got a chance to get him. I got him a potion, but that would be oh, it's not too bad. So that is 5 plus 4 is 9 plus your 4 because we haven't technically leveled up yet.
You have leveled up this point. It would be 5.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
so then
yeah,
it'd be
Yeah, you got 14.
5 plus 14 health onto whatever you had.
Nice.
Before that.
Onto your 1 HP.
My one.
Yes. Yes. And so then I would take Sentinel and I would go back to Sliva's office, his main thing. I would go back to the main area.
At this point, probably they are unaware of the demise of their master,
Yep.
considering everyone died in that encounter. So as you
Yeah.
arrive, there is obviously guards there to stop you.
Yep. Yeah, because I remember how to get there. I'm going to. So, are they stop me at the office, or they stop me before I get into the?
They would stop you before you get there. There'd kind of be checkpoints here down in the sewer area, and you know which way to go, but you kind of pass one of those checkpoints, and there's two Gorg guards that stop you.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be I'm gonna show them the staff of I.
Okay.
'Cause I did take
They
it.
they kind of see it, and they're taking it back for a moment. And one goes, "Where did you get that?"
I think you're gonna need to get as many people as you can. We should probably have this conversation outside of people's eyesight and earshot.
Our master is out. Where did you get that?
You're gonna want to do what I said, because that's gonna be a lot easier for me to tell you when we're not out in the middle of the street.
Oh, so technically you're not out on high water. You're in the sewers at this point. It's more like you're down in the bowels of his.
Yeah. So I'm
area.
gonna say you're gonna want to gather everybody together, and I can tell you.
Fine. We will meet you there. Any funny business, and we kill you.
I'm sure.
So they have agreed to take you there, and they lead you to the office.
I was gonna say I know where to go.
They lead you there regardless.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get there, and I'm gonna wait for at least a good a group of people.
They bring a fair amount of people in.
Cool. I'm gonna go behind the desk, and I'm gonna take the staff, and I'm gonna set it down.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be all right, everybody. Now, I think it goes without saying that there's only one way that I could have this staff, and you having no idea where your master is. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you, and I am not going to take the time to have an entire back and forth. The reality of the situation is that Sliva is dead. He's not coming back, and that leaves you with a very interesting opportunity. All of you, in this moment. Now, you can engage in a pointless power struggle where you try to fill your vacuum of Sliva with all of your fighting and this and that, and each one of you trying to get to the head of this chair, and that's a possibility. You can do that. Most of you will die in the attempt, and then the person who takes over will be just half of what that idiot was. You can do that. Or there's option 2, where I let you know an incredible recipe to make healing potions for half the cost of how to do that. And you could make more money than any of you have ever seen in your entire lives, and the city continues to run exactly how it ran before. Nobody questions you, nobody stops you, and you can have your city. The only difference being is that you listen to me.
You're saying our master is dead and you wish to claim his spot.
No, your master is dead and I am claiming his spot. Now, I can claim it now, or I can claim it later. But I'm letting you know that we're changing how things work here. Now, I'm not going to spend my time. Bees don't spend their time convincing flies why honey's better than shit. So if you don't want to take the deal, then don't. That's fine. But that's what happened to the last guy who held this staff. So,
give me a persuasion.
Yeah, I was like, you can either make money, or you guys can fight. And that is I don't have high persuasion. I think that is just a straight 16.
Hey, not bad.
That's still not bad though, yeah.
So, as you give this rousing speech, Jamie, there's a fair number of people in there of all varying, it seems like, ranks within Sliva's guild. They kind of look to each other. There's some discussion amongst each other. You obviously have the Staff of Ice, Sliva's most prized possession, one of the most powerful magical objects that he's ever obtained. And as this conversation begins to happen, a couple of them stop talking and they just make their way over and stand behind you. Say there's 8 leaders here that have gathered to listen to the speech of yours, that were rounded up.
So,
5
for those
of
of
them,
you,
5
those
of them
you,
have opted to stand behind you. The other 3 have not.
That's fine. You guys are, you made that decision, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Now, Sentinel here and my party over at the Savar Inn, that's where you can find me. I'm gonna bring in someone to be taking control of the more day-to-day operations that I can't see. There's already a network of people that I have already put into place that see and hear everything. A little girl by the name of Elise. When I bring her down here, she's going to be the one in charge. She's going to outlive most of the people in this room being in it. So
You're going to put in charge the pizza delivery girl.
I'm going to be put in charge of member of the intelligent agency that I have been building for the last 6 months, of orphans who've been able to see everything and hear everything that you guys have been doing, because you guys are not very good at being secretive about the shit you do. Now, again, nothing has to change about your operation. Actually, I'm not even telling you to do much different, other than we only kill people when I say so. It's going to be a lot easier to get people to do what you want when you can heal them than when you try to threaten them with fear, because that only works but so much. But people will do anything to make sure that their people are safe, and that's what we will do.
The Gorg that you're talking to earlier, that I'm kind of using as my mouthpiece for all of this, he kind of thinks for a moment. He's one of the ones that stood behind you and is listening to this. The other 3 have left with their factions, planning their own coups or their own revelry to try and take back this throne that is now opened up. I see. Well, if you believe that we can make do by changing the operation a bit, the Staff of the Eye is a powerful artifact, and it symbolizes those who hold the High Waters gang. So, if that is what you say, I will stand behind you.
Great. So yeah, that's basically it, everybody. Business as usual. The 3 that left, what happens to them is gonna be what they've decided has happened to them.
Do you want us to hunt them down and kill them?
I'm not big into senseless murder. Self-defense is self-defense, however. So, the idea is that we make the people of this city safer, and if we are the ones to provide that safety, they'll get rid of them on their own.
If I may offer a suggestion, Jirac, he is a dusk elf, one of the 3 that left, incredibly violent, one of the most violent on Sliver's force, an enforcer of sorts. He will not take this idly, and he will make his displeasure known by leaving bodies in the streets. Give me 30 good men, and I'll go put him down right now.
Sentinel,
Yes.
what do you think?
Sentinel is 30 good men.
Especially in his current state.
Sentinel, what do you think?
Yeah, a show of force is a show of force. But I'm pretty tired of that right now. And so I think things will sort themselves out in time. But not needed right now.
Understood. Well then, we wait. If he puts a body in the street, we show him what happens to people who hurt people in the city.
Understood. And he kind of turns to a few of these other Gorgs that he has, and he says something, which Sentinel, because you speak Gorg, you would understand. Basically along the lines of, and you turn up dead, you find out who did it. If it's who we think it is, you bring me his head.
All right. Well, everybody, it's been a long night, mostly of killing people that needed to be killed. So I'm going to go back to my inn and go to sleep. If any of you need me, you know where to find me. Until then, good working with you. It's nice to have new management here. Clean this place up. I don't want to see any slaw on the ground. And I will leave.
All right, Sentinel, you follow, I assume?
Yes.
You guys head back to the Zafar Inn for what I assume will be your turning of a long rest.
That would be
Yes,
the plan. As we're walking
Jamie
back,
the crime boss.
Yeah.
as we're walking
Not
back
ready
to
for that one.
Sentinel, you're gonna see me take like a deep breath out and be like, that could have gone really bad.
Yeah,
Thank you for being large.
Yeah, I said anything for you, Dr. Watson. I mean anything. Don't know how much I could have done there. I thank you for your trust, but well done.
Oh yeah,
That was.
you were there to be scary, and you did the thing. The one thing I know, if I know anything about crime bosses, and I unfortunately know a lot, is that power vacuums are worse for people in a city than anything else. And as much of an asshole as Sliva was, this entire city seemed to run underneath his leadership. We needed to do something quick and drastic to make sure that we didn't lose that. Now, the best thing we can do is steer them into a more protective direction and try to make it more profitable for them to be less violent. I'll give them the recipe to make cheaper healing potions. We'll start selling them, and hopefully by that point, we'll be able to garner enough actual trust with the city, that they'll start coming to us. Then we can reestablish the law around here, maybe with the guard. And we could make something better for this place. But yeah, that was the only way I could think to do it as soon as we killed that guy.
I agree, Dr. Watts. I think the team will be on board with this.
Yeah, I mean, if we tell them.
Well, it's up to you to tell. So
Yeah, I have to also decide. I also have to tell Elise that she's going to be running an entire crime organization.
yeah, you made a lot of promises there.
Yeah, well, yeah, she has a good head on her shoulders, and like I said, she's gonna outlive everybody here. So, if someone's gonna be put in charge, I want it to be a good person that I know is decent and smart
It knows the sim.
and knows the city. So yeah, and then yeah, I'll go back to the inn and I'll turn in for the night.
All right. Sentinel, do you turn in as well?
I do.
All right. Everyone has obtained a long rest, so you may
Hey.
update your character sheets for your long rest.
Hurrah!
You have a very restful sleep, considering all that has happened and transpired this last night. Darby,
Oh. I have two
your night
slots
is a
left.
little more tossy and turny than everyone else, though. As if there's something in the back of your mind that is keeping you alert. And about 3 in the morning, long after Jamie and Sentinel returned, you are stirred awake to see a door that sits in your room. It is a familiar door.
Yeah, been a while. Well, he doesn't take this long to get payments. I'm a little surprised. He doesn't ask for more, and then I will head inside.
So, Darby, you head inside the door into Gamar's Bounty, the lavish gambling hall of your patron. And just as every other time you've set foot in this place, it is hopping, rolling with patrons and money, waitresses, alcohol, pleasure.
I need a calculator. Just in case.
As you kind of are standing there, Darby, you step in and you see all these table games going on. You see everything that's happening around you. And one of the waiters, or I should say a waiter, but man approaches you. He is human. He is young, in his early 30s, fit, incredibly strong. If you were to get into a one-on-one fist fight with him, he would surely take you down and possibly everyone else in the party, bar Sentinel. As he approaches, he says,
Big boy.
"Oi, Darby, correct?
That is my name.
Master's looking for you.
I
Follow me."
kind of figured. I will follow.
So you follow him, and he turns, and as before you kind of enter this hall, you kind of walk through the whole gambling hall, and you make it to an actual hallway that he's going to lead you down. And he opens the door for you, and as you step in, he shuts it behind you. He says, "Name is Sedicus. It's nice to meet you. I am one of Gamar's 12.
Can't say I've actually had the pleasure of meeting any of you guys yet, but
Oh, trust me, Gamar doesn't let people meet us unless it benefits him.
everything. he does
Unfortunately, I'm the
benefits
only
him.
one off duty right now, so he asked me to fetch you. Come this way."
It's fair.
As you follow Sedicus further into the recesses of Gamar's Bounty, the gaudy and lavish style of the gambling hall is lost. It becomes dark, claustrophobic, sinister. You are led to another large hall, lit only by 2 blue sconces at the entrance. But this room does not need light, per se. A pool of perfect blue glows within the center of the room. It could easily rival the hanging baths of Vigoroth. You've never seen water glow so vibrant. And sitting in that water is Gamar.
Not our normal meeting place.
Darby, my friend! Oh,
It's been a while.
it's been so long, I know. I've been letting you do your thing. I didn't want to interrupt you. It was so much fun watching you.
Well, chasing after treasure, finding out that it's not actually anything important.
So sad when that happens.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a payday, and all you got away with was a little map piece. Tiny, little
Small
thing
piece of
not
paper.
much worth.
Not worth anything.
But Darby, you still owe me a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you've gotten a little bit, you and your friends, and Gamar needs his cut.
Jeez, that's so much money. This is what I get for carrying around almost 500 gold. Yeah, it is. It's a little overdue. So I was hoping maybe this time. You've been watching. You know how things have been going.
Of course.
Everyone's having trouble. They keep getting knocked out. I've been getting beat up
Trouble!
myself.
No one is having trouble, Darby.
Oh, they're having a lot
Everything
of
has
trouble.
been wonderful. I've loved it. It's like watching a soap opera.
Don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's so.
Prince
is it
Zafarin is sitting on the
Yeah.
couch next
Is
to
it
him
like-
watching.
Like if I had to take it, I'm not gonna try to make sense of that. That doesn't make any sense at all. Why you'd have an opera about soap, but
The money, Darby.
yes,
The
yes,
money.
yes. I know. And I will pull out 95 gold and hand it over to him.
You can give it to Sedicus. He'll put it in my vault.
Okay, I'll hand it over to Sedicus then.
Sedicus takes it, he bows, and he departs from the pool room.
Alright, as I
So,
was...
Darby, I'm assuming that you're looking for a little bit of a power increase, a little bit more of my magic to bring a little bit more of you out.
That would be nice, yes.
Oh, wish granted, my friend. You'll feel more energy, you'll feel a little stronger. A little less like you need meat on the bones. Let me guess. You might be in need of something else. Something that's going to grant you a bit more help in ways. Tell me, Darby, what is it that you need?
Well, your staff here, particularly the bouncers, seem to be quite able-bodied.
Incredibly able-bodied.
Keeping one on call for me might not be a bad idea. I mean, I am bringing in a good amount of your funds.
A good amount? Please. You bring me my fast food money.
Hey, that's food every day, man. That's a good amount.
I do particularly like my hamburgers. They are quite delicious.
He's just not slaw.
Yeah, right, chicken and slaw.
Clean that slaw off the ground.
But what a scene we're slaw in here.
Darby, what do you need?
Yeah, well, I've heard that there is a particular item that might be able to call people from other dimensions.
Uh,
I don't know
what
if you
would
happen to
that
have
be?
one.
Name it!
A gemstone? Let me double check the exact item, though I will probably request it have its form changed. It is... Where's the material components? There we go. A gemstone with tears inside of it that's worth a good sum of money.
I believe that can be arranged.
So,
Claps his hands. And Darby, as you look over to your left, there is a servant with a silver tray. And
You
on
got here
it
fast.
is a gemstone with a tear in it.
no, I'll pick it up and kind of hold it and look at it. Oh, gaudy, not really my style. I don't suppose you'd be able to maybe make it look more like a card? A little bit more used to tossing
No.
those around. Alright.
That's what you get, Darby.
Alright, that's fair. That's fair.
When you bring in a little more money than 95 gold pieces, then we'll talk about transmuting items to look like rubber duckies and goats and whatever else you people like up in that world of
That's
yours.
fair. That's fair.
Do you have what you want, Darby? Are you satisfied?
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Good. I have a question for you, Darby, before you go. Something I've been wondering. Do you know what a Tsar pool is?
I can't say that I do.
Which is what I'm bathing in right now. A glorious, holy liquid, capable of telling the future, supposedly. Well, not supposedly, for I've seen it myself.
Oh,
Tell me, Darby,
sure, that's handy.
my good and faithful servant,
Yes.
would you like to see the future?
You know, can't say that I particularly do. I'm more of a make fate my own kind of person.
Ah, interesting. I had one other at this pool, much like you. She opted to set foot and see one possible future of hers. It may not have been the future that came through, but she saw it nonetheless. I admire people that wish to live life without knowing what may or may not transpire. I respect that.
all part of the game.
It is. Well, Darby, you're free to go enjoy your newfound power, your magical abilities, whatever you plan to do with it. I look forward to making more money from you.
And I look forward to making more money in general.
Of course you do, Darby. Don't be a stranger. Call on old Gamar whenever you need him.
I'll be sure to do that. But I will leave.
So actually,
Well, the
Darby,
room, but yeah.
yeah, so as you turn to leave and you walk through the doors of the pool, you actually walk out into your room, into Safari Inn.
I was hoping to do a little gambling, but alright, I guess that works. Probably better not to lose my money at this point. Mars been bringing in the heavy hitters. And I will, I guess, go back and probably finish whatever's left in my trance.
Alright, you go back to finish whatever's left in your trance. The morning comes for the lot of you, and you all awaken fresh, chipper. Well, maybe not chipper, but you're at least not beat up from the previous day's battle as you congregate down in the lobby of the Zafar Inn. Skipper, in all of his cooking wonders, has prepared a breakfast grilled cheese for everyone,
Yes.
consisting of bread, cheese, egg, and bacon, all grilled to perfection.
It's not a grilled cheese.
No,
It's a melt!
Yeah, that's a melt. It's not a grilled cheese anymore. You put if
It's-
there's more than cheese. It's
It's
not a grilled
gourmet.
cheese.
no longer a grilled cheese.
Skipper
Alright.
makes best cookies.
Quit harassing the
making
help.
It's fine.
grilled
It's
cheese
fine,
for everyone.
Skipper. It's fine. It's just that's not what a grilled cheese
Quit
is.
harassing the help.
That's
He
fine.
made you breakfast.
It's
Thank you,
fine.
Skipper.
Again, it's fine. I just want to make sure we're clear that this is. It's okay that you're making these. I'm sure it's delicious, but it's not a grilled cheese, so don't call it a
It
grilled
is-
cheese. It is a melt.
Skipper is the greatest grilled cheese expert ever
Is-
to exist in Elyssia. It is a grilled cheese.
Okay.
Is
you
there
know,
cheese?
Whatever helps you sleep.
You know what?
cheese has
Is
it
it
been
grilled?
grilled? It's a grilled
It's
cheese.
grilled
here's-
cheese.
I'm gonna explain to you folks what a grilled cheese is. If you have a ratio of 60% cheese to all the other ingredients, it is therefore a grilled cheese.
That is
That is what I
dumbest
was taught in
thing I've
culinary
ever
school
heard in my
in
life.
Pragola.
That is a lie. If I had a sandwich that is 60% cheese
I'm sorry,
and 40%
Jamie.
shit, it is not a grilled
Jamie?
cheese.
Jamie, do you have a culinary degree from Pragola?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I do.
No,
yes,
you
I
don't.
Do. You don't
No,
know
you
anything about me, Arthur. You've been on a ship your whole life, eating lemons to keep from getting scurvy. So out of everybody, I would like you to pipe down. This guy.
Skipper, this is a delicious grilled cheese. Ignore
Jamie-
the raving madman in the corner. This is a
Jamie
delicious
has
grilled cheese.
initiated PvP mode. Let's go.
He has enabled
refuse.
PvP to beat up
I
Skipper.
refuse. I'm going. I will eat the. First of all, is it any good? Before
It's
I
it's
continue,
absolutely delicious.
Oh yeah, no, I
then I am just going to. I will eat my sandwich, and
I just
am
don't
gonna
agree
be
with
like,
it being called a grilled
okay.
cheese.
It is now apparent to me that Skipper is deficient, and I will treat that differently than I would if he was not.
Wow.
Two things that you note as you were eating. One, Tetra, who came back to the Zafar Inn to sleep, is no longer there. And
Oh.
Oranax has kind of made himself at home. And you've noticed this huge, area in the corner of the room where he set up this plush leather chair. A hearth has been put in, and there is a
This is my
fire
favorite
rolling.
guy.
There's,
Hey.
all of these, pictures of dragons and
Um,
stuff. They've just magically appeared.
I
And
like it.
Skipper goes and he serves him this grilled cheese or this melt, whatever you want to call it. And Arnax looks at it and he doesn't touch it. He doesn't eat it. And you can hear this whispering in all of your ears as you watch as the grilled cheese slowly is disintegrated into nothing and it just vanishes from thin air.
Hey,
Oh. This
Hey.
was an excellent meal.
Hey, Oranax.
Arnak?
Yes.
I don't suppose you can use some of that magic over there at that giant hole and make it not a giant hole anymore.
You know, I was thinking about that, but I decided to make myself a nice little sitting area instead.
So
Fair
I'm
enough.
assuming you can only have one of these at a time then?
Oh, of course not. I could fix that in a breeze. But for a dragon like myself, why would I offer my hole to anyone else?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Okay.
I mean, we're the ones who are letting you stay here, but okay.
I kind of think him
Fine.
being a dragon means he's letting us stay here now.
Yes.
yeah,
that
I
is
think that's
exactly what
kind
it
of
is.
the case.
He's letting us
If he-
live.
If he
yeah.
is a dragon,
Maybe
in
bringing
the
him back
first
was a bad idea.
Shifted drastically.
I don't think we own this
I-
anymore, guys. I think
Yeah,
we
ask
we
him-
have sold it to Oranax.
All I know is
Uh,
Arnax is our buddy, and this
he's-
is
yeah,
okay.
he's
Yeah,
done. I
cool,
don't mind
but-
him not fixing the inn. That's totally fine. We could just pay someone to do it.
I know. I was just
We
kind
do
of
have
hoping
the
we
money to
wouldn't
do that
need
now.
to. Like, why pay the money when we can get it for free?
I mean, technically, but it's not free. He would still have to do something for it, and this way we can invest in the economy.
Exactly.
Sure, I guess.
It's all about keeping it local.
All right. Well, the only local I like is in my pocket. So.
So
you
is
guys
that
are kind of conversing about Arnox's, renovations of
deal.
a piece of your inn. Not the part of the inn you want to renovate, but a different part of the inn that's totally fine that he opted to renovate.
That's what it is.
There is a wrap at the whole giant gaping hole in the side of your inn, and Tetra has come back. Oh, I'm glad to see everyone's awake.
Hey, would you like a melt? Skipper's
I
preparing.
would love a melt, but make it 2, because I have a special guest for everyone.
Want to give my eyebrow raise to Skipper? See if he heard the order.
Skipper, make grilled cheese. He gonna make real fast now. And he kind of scampers over to the kitchen. He starts prepping the grilled cheese as he knows best.
I'm gonna throw a gold Skipper's way. He's really impressed.
I was gonna say we should really be paying him, or else this gets real slavey real
Yeah,
quick.
you toss a gold to him, and he kind of looks at it, and he picks it up, and he sniffs it, and he puts it in his pocket, and he goes right back to cooking.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure we
Good
agreed
job,
to
Skipper.
pay him. He's our new hire, as far as I remember.
Good job, Skipper.
As
That's just
oh, go ahead, Darian.
I was just gonna say that's just a tip for now. We'll figure out the constant
Yeah, we can
salary
give him
later.
his salary later.
So as Tetra enters, behind her comes an aging elf in the twilight years of his life, incredibly old. Thick gray beard, longish gray hair arched back. He walks with a cane. You guys have actually seen this man once before. It is Governor Core, the mayor of Highwater.
Oh,
Tetra says,
interesting.
I opted to go and fetch the governor today, who has a few words that he'd like to offer, well, you guys. And me, I guess, but I'm going to let him talk for a little bit.
what do we owe the honor?
Yeah. We
Well,
fixed the hole first if we knew you were coming.
Oh, do not worry about the hole. I do not believe we've officially met. I am Governor Cole, Mayor of Highwater. So many people come through the city and apply for business licenses, citizenship, such. It can be difficult to greet and meet all of them. I had heard about you from Marilli, who had let me know that you had kind of struck up a business partnership with the pizza restaurant. I don't particularly like the food there. It does a number on my gut.
I actually, Governor Core, not to be rude, I do believe we did
We
meet.
did,
We
yeah.
we spoke to you about your old Servants Guild member who was working for you
Yeah.
for Sliva. I think
But
her name was
why
Maureen.
remember that? Why remember somebody who worked for you and then ended up
Well,
dead, and people who
the-
talk to you?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about
Hunter's
that.
going to elbow Jamie again.
We also talked
Oh.
with your little butler guy about chess for a really long time.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
you,
yeah, no.
you will
We're
have to
just citizens
excuse
of your
me.
town.
You will have to excuse me. So many people come through. And after all, you're heroes, and I should be treating you better.
I don't know about the word hero.
Well,
I do.
Petra told me Sliver's dead.
I
And this inn may or may
Yeah.
not be responsible for that. Now, she did tell me that you did not wish to make it known. So, I have not said anything to anyone else, for she spoke to me in private. But I wanted to let you know something. Sliver's been a bit of a thorn in our side for many years. The guard have tried numerous occasions to deal with his gangs, break them up, imprison their members, get to the heart of it, but we were never able to. An unfortunate weakness, I will admit, that our city has. Did you know that there's a gold reward for Sliver?
No, we
Yes.
did not.
It's not necessarily well known. We don't want people charging into the sewers and losing their lives when they hear about the sum. More private affair, more designed that I were to hire out a group to come and take care of him, which we have before, and it has not gone well. But somehow, through the miracle of the goddess, this group did what I could not, did not what my god could not, did what Captain Cromley could not, even did what our own champion could not, though I don't necessarily think that she tried. More focus elsewhere. Would you like to know how much the gold reward is?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
This
I
is a
see you
lot of
have
money.
quite the nasty damage to your inn. Fireball result, from what I understand. Many were injured. I owe my thanks to you and the Pazos Pizza family for that as well, for the help that you provided, as well as the help of Barnabas, who uncovered some of the going-ons with that. But that is besides the point. Now, for gold. City's coffers have allotted a specific amount for the capture of Sliver. I consider a body which Tetra returned to us this morning.
Oh, she went back to the things.
Interesting.
That's nice of her.
Yeah.
How does, well, maybe not how does, but do you believe that 6,000 gold pieces may perhaps help fix your inn up in a way?
I'm sorry.
Arthur is going
How
to
much?
attempt not to fall over.
You
The
said how much?
6,000
6,000.
gold pieces was the wanted sum that the city had allotted for the capture or death and return of Sliver's body, which, from what Tetra tells me, this party was directly responsible for. Now, normally I would divide up a sum to her as well, but she had said that she's been paid in full and that the sum should go to this inn. So, he pulls back his cloak, he pulls out a very hefty sack, and he sets it on the bar counter. You may count it if you like, but I've had my treasurer count it 6 times. You'll find in there 6,000 gold pieces.
Before anybody says anything, Arthur's going to grab it and put it into the bag of holding.
Okay, you put it in the bag of holding.
Dang.
Well, that was
That's
unexpected.
very unexpected. Wow, that is more money than I think any of us have ever seen in our entire lives.
Petra also says, if it helps in any way, I've also contacted a mason, I believe the one that helped build this place or repair it originally. He has agreed to perform the necessary repairs for about 1,500 gold pieces that will not only repair the facade of the building, but improve it. Give it a little bit more of a pizzazz, if you could say.
I hope this time it'll be blast resistant.
Well, that might be difficult to do, but they've agreed to it if you're willing to pay.
I don't think we'll need that. It's not a very common
We're-
occurrence that someone bombs your building with a fireball.
I think I speak from all of us, and I'm going to look around at the party first before I finish the sentence. And say, yes, we'd be willing to pay.
But yes, we'll.
Wonderful. We can let them
That's
know
okay.
this afternoon, and they said they can start tomorrow. Have the work done in a couple weeks.
Beautiful.
You've been
Wow.
very productive.
Yeah.
I got up early this morning, and let's just say that we'll have a conversation about it afterward.
Well, there's always a
Okay.
catch. Always a
And
catch.
Governor Core pipes up after she says that. Oh, yes, Tetra did inform me that there was business to attend to with this group afterwards. Unfortunately, she told me that the Vault of Highwater, the mystical treasure hold, containing all the riches of Highwater, was as empty as a bone. Dry. What that money could have done for this city. But isn't that how legends go? You hear about them, and they say, they'll be grand, you'll be rich, you'll never have to work a day in your life. And they're as empty as can be.
I'm gonna. Never mind. Tetra's doing a lot of talking that you probably shouldn't be. That is just. We'll just leave that.
Yeah, no, we can discuss that later.
I have much to attend to today. I hope you will find the reward sufficient. Your troubles are noted by the city. You have our protections from any rabble-rousers that might come and attempt to rough this place up given certain events. We will keep this private amongst us, though. Don't want any unwitting patrons to frequent this place, cause any issues for you. If you need anything from the city of Highwater, you know who to talk to. Myself or Captain Cromley. Day
As long
to
as
you
you
all.
remember us.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Hobbles his way on out. Well, wasn't that just grand? 6,000 gold for the lot of you.
That was a very pleasant
That
surprise.
was incredibly generous, Tetra. I'm wondering where the catch is.
Yeah, I am too.
There is one catch, I guess I could say. The map piece.
What about
Obviously, we all know that it's incredibly valuable. Not in a monetary sense, but in a world-saving sense.
Which
I
is
plan
also a
to
money.
I plan to do a little bit of research about some of those clues we were given by our good buddy over there. I just ask that you keep the map safe. And when I come back with said information, you may be willing to give me a hand with it.
Well,
I'm
if your
not
intent
sure
is
how we
to,
can say no. Sorry,
yeah,
go
if
ahead.
your
Dan.
intent is to pursue the other pieces of this map, then yes, I'm in.
You probably would have had the moral majority here with Darian and Sentinel. Not sure about Jamie and how he feels about saving the world from something he probably doesn't believe in, but you just bought the loyalty of us two, and I'm going to point to
Yeah.
me and Darby.
So
I don't.
that is more
I
money than
believe
I
in
would
be-
even know what to do
I
with.
believe in beckonings. I've seen undead before.
Well, you never
Fair enough.
know.
Saying you don't believe in hurricanes.
You don't believe in the goddess, and Sentinel has popped up basically holy power since we've met him. So his very
But
existence is
random
written for-
magic is not an inherent sense of divinity, Arthur. Wizards exist, Arthur.
Yes,
Yes,
they
and
do.
hey Sentinel, where's your spell book?
Sorcerers exist, Arthur.
That's also true. Sorcerers do. There are many
What are
forms
you?
of magic
What
out
are
there.
you talking about? If the goddess is real right now, turn me into a large blue polka dotted giraffe.
Well, if you wanted to be turned into a large polka-dotted giraffe, it wouldn't be from the goddess, it'd be from her brother, Braska, who
All right, either
gave
one of them.
magic to this world.
Either one of them. Let's go.
Well, then you'd be going on the darkness of the world, and you'd be probably blamed as a heretic.
Oh no! Look at this. Look at all my opposable thumbs.
I don't think that's how. That's not
Yeah.
how any of this
I
works.
don't. You know.
I love straw man arguments.
I'm just saying.
We can.
I love them.
Yeah,
They're my
if that's
favorite.
Anyway, this
Yes,
melt's pretty good.
Tetra. I believe. Before we got into our little tiff here,
Yeah,
yes,
I believe
you can
probably
count on the
helpful.
party here for further investigation into those pieces. One thing I
Beautiful.
would encourage us to do going forward, even though it is just the members of the party here present, we don't know what kind of prying ears or eyes we may have. I think it might behoove us to refer to them as something other than what they are. I don't think using the MAP word would be smart going forward. So if we want to call them recipes, pieces of dirt, anything you want to, I just don't think including that we have some sort of piece
Grand
to a
thing.
puzzle
Yeah.
would be helpful.
I like recipes. It's easy to remember.
Makes sense. We're starting it in again.
It's our secret
Also-
recipe, if you will.
Also, in the future, maybe don't go to the highest office of government in the land and tell them about shady shit that we do. That might be a
I didn't-
good move.
I didn't mention the map pieces in any capacity to Governor Corps, but I figured they
The
might
what?
be interested to know about Sentinel. Or
You just
Sis-
did it. You
Slivon.
just
What
wanted
didn't
to-
you
What now?
mention? What
Wait,
did you mention?
She didn't mention the map pieces to him.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I just
The
chose not to
what?
refer to them as
The
map pieces.
recipes.
Oh, I go
He's
like
gone.
this to Arthur.
Core left.
I go like this.
He didn't
Ah.
mention the recipes.
Yes.
Goodness.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Excuse me, I'll have to get used to the terminology a little bit
Oh
there.
boy.
Oh
It's all
my
good.
I
I think
know
we've
the
entrusted this into the wrong person.
This is why I don't work with Marks.
You know what? In fairness, she somehow brought the body of the crime
Yeah, I
lord
don't
of the
even
city
know how
This
you
is
to
got
the
true.
governor undiscovered. So you know what? As much doubt as I have, Tetra, You
That's
gave
just not
you just
major
lined my
deduction.
pockets with gold, so I'm not
No.
going to be insulting you any
I mean,
further.
you didn't count it.
We can.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
sure
all
we
I
will.
gotta do is I'm gonna pull it out of the bag of holding. I go, Jamie. All I gotta do is shake it to know how much is in here. Put
It
it
certainly
back in.
sounds like more money than I've ever heard. I've played with some high-profile people too.
I'm going to do a little bit of research into two of our clues. First being the one across the sea. Maybe determine if there's a place that we know across the sea that it might be. The other is this otherworldly business, the Elyssia, not Elyssia sort of thing. That one strikes me as the oddest, but I'll have to do some asking around, some sources that I have. Don't worry, I'm not going to bring up anything about the recipes, just some basic conversation. As for the other ones, related to the Locket of Recipes and the Frozen Kingdom, our esteemed champion might be able to help you a little more with that than I can.
Hmm.
So I'd say it might be a good idea to bring it up with her, and if you opt not to, I plan to.
No, I think she's to be trusted. If anybody,
Very good.
that's fair enough.
Seems that some of us are in agreement then. I think we have a very long and lucrative partnership right now. When I mean lucrative, I mean the save the world kind of lucrative. We're gonna save our skin so we can keep making money kind of lucrative. Does that sound like a plan to everyone?
You had me
Well,
at
worth
save our
something.
skin.
You had me at 6,000 gold.
Yeah, you've had me
Oh.
since then as well.
I'm glad that that worked out for you guys. If you'd like, while I'm out and making some rounds, I can go and let the Masons know about the payment, and they should be by tomorrow to begin work on your end.
Please do. You're a lot more altruistic than you let on, Tetra. Just future advice. Maybe lead with that. It may not work on somebody like me, but you would have had Darian working for you much earlier than we had.
Here's the thing,
You led with that.
I've seen a lot of stuff. I've watched my entire family get murdered before my eyes. I've seen people suffer for things like money and things like that. I've also seen undead, and I've seen what they can do to people. I've seen how my dusk elves have been treated by humans and regular elves, dwarves, and everything like that. Desert World's fucked. But if I can make it slightly less unfucked, monetary gain or no monetary gain, that's what I'm going to do. It might not necessarily be what I lead with, though, because not every action or reaction is going to save the world.
Fair enough.
He stands, kind of gives you guys a bit of a wink. Well, I believe this is going to be a long and prosperous partnership between the 6 of us. I look forward to talking to you guys further. Let you know when I know something. She departs the Zafar Inn.
Bye.
Well, that sure was something.
I, I,
Looks like you want to say something, Jamie.
Yeah.
I just I can't help but I can't. I'm sorry. I'm having a tough time thinking that neither of you realize just what just happened.
I, quite frankly, realizing what just happened kind of passed by my radar with 6,000 gold.
I
Yeah.
can see that. I can
I-
see that.
I don't
that's-
see it. I don't see the negatives here, Jamie.
It's not necessarily a negative. It's just more so that you guys sort of got conned. All of you. Not a problem. I actually like Tetra
How
as
did we
much as I
get
like any of you.
conned?
You guys just offered services to someone for a job that you did. She paid you money that you rightfully earned, and you thanked her by giving her your loyalty. She didn't give you 6,000 gold. You earned it.
We didn't
And-
know about the 6,000 gold, and then she's going out of her way to pursue the rest of the map.
I'm just saying that you guys. That's what happened.
You
If
know
this
what?
is what
If
getting
it-
conned
as I
is
say-
like, con me every day.
As I say, if it takes, honestly, most of the time, Jamie, had you known me in my previous life, it probably would have taken me to be conned to do the right thing. So if this elaborate scheme needs to happen for me to be able to do the right thing to save the world, you can sign me up every single time.
I can see that. No problem here. I'm all about pushing people to do the right thing. It was funny that you guys got a bag of gold that just.
I don't care about the gold. She's pursuing the map.
Oh yes,
You don't
Darian,
care
we
about
know.
the
What?
gold.
We know you're
What?
so altruistic, buddy. Keep rocking and rolling. I was talking to them too. the ones that can't stop drooling over their sack of money.
Hey, Darian, you said she's helping us with the what?
The recipes.
Okay, thanks.
I'm
Great
gonna
job,
go.
guys. Great job.
I'm gonna go.
Oh
I'm gonna
boy, this
go
is gonna be a tough time
down
with that,
to
isn't it?
my lab and work on stuff until something else happens.
I would like to. Arthur is going to take a quill from his hat, scratch something on a scrap piece of parchment, and walk over to our dragon friend. Hand it to him.
Okay,
And
what does it say?
say, in case I am not here for when the Masons show up, please give them this. Don't let anybody else see it. And then I'll private message you, Ethan, as to what
Okay.
it says.
Sounds good.
Ooh. Are we doing free do stuff time? 'Cause actually,
I mean, technically, yes. The only thing on your docket would be to talk to Jayla right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we even want
I
to.
want to do two things. One, I want to go to Nim. I want to go check on Peck. It's been a minute since I've seen either one of them, and I want to just to make sure that everybody's doing okay. And I want to get some parts from him because I have some ideas.
Do you let it be known that you're checking out a Nim and Peck?
Yeah, sure.
I'll go with you. I like Nim and Peck.
Okay, cool. I'm down. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to go talk to Nim and check on Peck.
All right. So Jamie and Darian go
Okay.
off to talk to Nim and Peck. The rest of you, what else would you like to do? As I said, there is still Jayla to talk to.
I will go talk to. I'll agree to go talk to Jayla and whoever wants to come. I'll let them know that's what I'm doing.
I'll meet you there after we check on Nim and Peck.
I suppose we can go. That's fine.
Likely, if you guys are checking in Nim and Peck, it's going to be happening at the same time. You wouldn't be able to get over there to talk with them.
Unless
Aw.
we travel twice as fast as they do.
Oh, if it's a choice of one or the other, I'll actually.
I'm across the
True.
street.
True, but it is
Yeah,
across the street.
If Jayla, I don't know where Jayla is.
She's
If
probably at Pazos. That's where you're gonna go check.
oh, okay.
If I
well then-
choose one or the other, then I will be joining the group when talking to Jayla.
yeah, I guess. Well, if
As
the
much as I
Jayla
like
one is
Nim
a
and Peck.
serious one, but I think that's if it's just across the street, then I'll just quick go.
Well,
do
as I
that.
say, we don't need not to exclude you. If you want to come, you can come. But as I said, we don't need the whole party to talk to her
No.
either. If you wanted to go check on your mouse, you totally can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that because I figured you guys have that under control.
Sentinel, Sentinel and Darby, are you going to join Jamie to check on Nim and Peck, or are you going to go check on, or not check, but talk to Jayla?
I'm gonna go in town to get my beak-axe fixed.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Since it's still.
That if you want to subtract 3 silver from your total, there's Sentinel that will fix your beak axe.
Okay.
And Darby.
Yeah, I'll go with Jayla or go talk to
Okay.
Jayla, I guess.
So we'll go ahead and we'll start with Jamie first. Jamie, you quickly make your way to the church or chapel.
Yep.
Manage to make your way up to Nim's floor,
Mm.
where you have the door in front of you where he resides.
Yeah. Knock on the door. Be
It
like,
opens.
hey Nim. Hey, Nim. You in
Yes. Nim is in here with Peck. He has enjoyed my time. We have learned to play chess together.
here? Oh, that's great. Hey Peck, how you doing, buddy? And I'm gonna pet my little mouse.
The mouse like squeaks, and you see this like chessboard. It is a chessboard, but there's not standard chess pieces on it. There's all this like random just junk all over the place on it. Like you look at it and you're like, I can kind of see where the kings and queens and pawns are, but there's a lot of other shit that's on
Yeah.
this chessboard right now.
It's like it seems like you guys are having a good time. It's
We
been a
are
minute since
having the best time right now. Pack has beaten Nim 6 times in rodent chess.
There's a lot of
Rodent
versions
chess.
of chess in this city, and that's great. I'm glad that everyone's got a thing.
We just came up with it yesterday.
Of course they do.
We have processed the rules. Processing rules. Nim has determined that in human writing, rules would take up 462 parchment papers.
That makes sense. Peck is a very crafty guy. I just wanted to make sure everything was all right, and that Peck wasn't overstaying his welcome, and was sharing the covers and all that stuff. And just making sure that you were okay, and you're all
Heck.
right.
Is wonderful. Nim is wonderful. Nim decided to deassemble Friend. Friend became too obnoxious for Nim. So Nim made Peck a little chair out of Friend as show of love.
I wish more people in this city were like you, Nim. Honestly, I really do. I like you. I like exactly how you think. You seem like a cool being. Speaking of which, I was actually wondering, you have a lot of spare parts in this room, and I know you don't use all of them. And I was having some
Nim
ideas.
does not.
Do you think I could take some of these off your hands? I'd be more than happy to pay you for it, but I don't think you need
Nim
anything.
does not need monetary compensation. Nim has been given by the Jamie the friendship of Peck, which is invaluable to Nim.
I 100% understand. I wouldn't know where I would be if I knew that Peck was not out there somewhere safe. So I totally get you. Well, then in that case, I'll just take some of this stuff off your hands. And also, I have a present for Peck, and I'm gonna take out the wheel of cheddar cheese that I took from.
Oh, it all comes full
Zero's
circle.
pantry.
I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
You take this big wheel of cheddar, you set it down, and you see your little mouse friend like come up and he kind of rubs his hands. He plucks a piece off and eats it, and in his mouth, the way he gives you a thumbs up as he's eating the
Nice.
piece of cheese.
Nim, I was gonna say like, yep, I told you I'd get us there, buddy. I'd get us into the next. I want to have us a whole place, a big old room that'll be just yours, and I'll put as much cheese in it as I can. But
Nim looks what you did, and he kind of looks back to you, Jamie. And he goes, "You have provided cheese to Peck.
I have.
Nim knows what we may do with cheese, Peck. We may turn cheese into thing that Nim has heard called the nachos, and we will have the sex and then eat the nachos."
What?
I'm gonna need you, out of all the things, really quick, explain what you think that means.
Nim is
before we
unsure.
continue.
Nim heard it from black-haired knight who said that he just had the sex and then ate the nachos.
Okay, so you can't have sex with Peck. Peck is.
Nim would not imagine doing that. That sounds dangerous.
Okay, good. All right. Well then, if you want to bring a consenting being,
What
in
does
to have-
that mean?
Consent?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. You know
that
word
part of the
designation.
episode.
You know designation. You don't know consent. Okay, that's fine. You're built very. It's. You know what? I'm not surprised that you're built by the church. Actually, that makes perfect sense to me.
Oh wow.
No.
I love it.
Dang.
Anyway,
Coming in hot.
anyway. Finger
Shots
gun.
fired.
Get out.
Shots fired. I love it.
That's great.
Continue, Jamie.
That's funny.
I will say that I'm trying to think how Dr. Jamie Watts would explain consent to a robot. I was gonna say
Not a thing you have to think about on a daily basis.
No, that is an extra level of roleplay.
yeah,
This
actual
is
robot. I don't even
next
know how to
level.
do that. I would say so Nim, you know how you wouldn't like it if someone came up and shut you off permanently.
Nim would not enjoy that.
Yes. But you wouldn't mind if you decided to shut down for a while voluntarily.
Nim would never like to shut down. If Nim shut down, he would be dead in human sense.
I mean, I don't actually technically know that about you, but yes. Okay, let me put it in a different way. You wouldn't like it if someone came and took things from you without asking.
Nim would be very upset. People take things from Nim without asking all the time.
And it's not right or fun to experience them.
No.
Well, but if they were to ask you, you would be able to say yes or no, correct?
Like Jamie did with items from Junk Place.
Exactly. So consent is the same thing, but it is also with personal space and touch and any sort of that kind of interaction. So taking it without asking is wrong, but freely giving it is okay.
I see. That means that Jamie and Nim have performed the sex together.
Yes. As far as you need to know, sex is when you give somebody the junk in your trunk.
Nim will remember this.
Willingly,
finest.
willingly giving someone the junk in your trunk. And
Nim will remember this. And Nim is happy, Jamie, that we have made the sex together.
Yeah.
And now, because that has happened, you may partake in the nachos.
The nachos.
I would love to have some of the nachos. There's a one more thing I have to do today, but I'll grab this box and then you know what? I'll make an appointment to come back. Or you could also, Nim, just throwing this out there. I know you're living in the attic of this church who people take stuff from you all the time and you don't like it. You could always come and stay at the inn. It's the same sort of house. We already have a couple of weirdos. I could always use help in the lab. It'd be nice to have Peck around more. I'm just saying, if you want to, I don't want to
collecting all the greatest NPCs.
I don't want you to feel like you don't have to. I'm just saying that if you want to, there's the spot open.
Nim looks down at Peck. Peck, how do you feel about leaving the church? The little rat or mouse kind of goes,
Yes, leave the church.
Nim believes this may
Of course.
be beneficial to Nim and Peck, so that no one may have the sex with us anymore without our consent.
There you go.
Nim will come to inn where the sex will flow like wine.
I love that you understand metaphor and not consent. Again, a very church program thing to do. I will see you at the inn, and I'm super glad that you're gonna do that. Real quick, I want, when you get to the inn, I want you to find this guy named Arthur. You'll see him, and I want you to ask to have sex with him. That would be very fun for everyone.
Does Arthur consent to the sex?
I guess you'll have to ask him.
Nim will ask if he is consensual in said sex. Come,
Lovely. Thank
Peck.
you.
We must make nachos to bring it to the inn. So when all of the sex happens, everyone may participate in nachos.
That's perfect. I'm gonna take that junk stuff and I'm gonna head back over to Pazzo's, where they're gonna have their conversation with Jim.
Right. So this conversation will obviously happen a bit before you get there, Jamie. But
Yeah, correct.
Arthur, Darian, and Darby make their way to Pazzo's Pizza. When they enter, you see the modest lunch crowd. Unfortunately, as expected, there is no Merle serving them, but Elise is now serving them. Kind of hobbling around a little bit. Her leg is still a little messed up, but she seems to be getting around pretty well. And busting out from the kitchen is Jayla, also doing her best to help out while she's here in Highwater. She kind of sees you enter. Oh, I didn't expect to see you guys so soon. How did everything go? We shouldn't talk here. Come on
Yeah.
to the back room.
We need a moment of your time, and it may be longer than a moment.
I'll let Elise know. Elise, I'm going to take a second to talk to our friends here. Yeah, I got it. I got all this stuff. This is easy. All right. To the back room. Is this a conversation for just me, or if Gale hears, is there any fault with that?
I don't have a problem with Dale. He's done right by us.
As long as he
You can
doesn't
hear.
start telling everyone, but I doubt he
And
will.
Dale's not one to really gab, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Our
He just doesn't stop talking
Unfortunate-
as far as I'm concerned.
Unfortunately, our biggest gabber has not woken up today.
Good. Let's hope he stays quiet for at least a while.
some of this information does need to make it to him, though.
Yes, but we can tell that to him ourselves if we really need to when the time comes.
So Jayla leads you guys to the back room at Pazzo's, where Dale is busily preparing pizzas. He kind of watches all you guys come back, and he goes, "What is this, the circus? Got a full
Well-
day's worth of work ahead of me. I hope this is good."
It
Well,
only comes around once a year, so.
it's gonna be good news if you want to sit.
All right. He kind of Dale doesn't sit. He just leans up against the wall, crosses his arms.
As he-
But
yeah.
Jayla sits.
As he do.
All right. I am assuming this has to deal with the whole Highwater treasure thing. It seems that, from what a little bird may have told us, Highwater has one less problem in its hand.
Word travels fast.
Yeah.
But
It
yes,
usually
that what you mentioned made its way. We made our way to it. Wasn't what we thought it was going to be. Picked it up anyways. Necessarily, probably gonna be a hint at several more pieces. I'm going to pull it out of the bag, but not say what I'm holding. Just kind of show it to them. This is one of, I believe, 5. We're in the process of finding. I'm going to put this back into my bag. Not going to name it. We've used the word recipes as a
Pizza
way to cover it.
recipes. Dale, they have pizza recipes for us.
Perfect.
A new secret
Um,
recipe for your business.
But that's kind
Dale
of the
special part 2.
that's kind of the bad news of the two things that we really wanted to tell you. Leading with the bad news, I guess I can give you the good news now. Sliva's dead.
That is what we heard. Now the question becomes was it Xanthro? Was it Ansem? Or, unknown
Well,
to the people, was
if,
it someone else?
If anybody asks, it was Ansem. But
Of course it was Ansem.
But if you
our,
want to, if you want to know,
our feathered friend was the one who did him in.
Oh, you mean Ansem, tarred and feathered. I understand now.
yeah,
Exactly.
you catch on a lot faster than Tetra.
Well, Tetra's a good girl, but I think she has coins that fill her eyes occasionally and doesn't necessarily think about things.
I will
Hey, about
tell
that,
you.
Dale? I raised her, so yeah, I guess.
I will give you a little bit of other good news, Jayla, which you'll probably perk your ears. We also saw your buddy Xanthro at the closest to his end that we have. We had him on the ropes and he ran.
Well, that is good news. Do you know where he went?
I do
Oh, okay.
not, but I do have, and I'm going to produce the 2 pieces of his staff of power and show it to her.
Well, that is interesting. The shame you couldn't kill him, though I would have liked to have been there myself to deal the final blow.
Trust me, I tried.
He's a slimy and slippery fellow. There's been a few instances where I Thought I had him on ropes and he managed to get away from me. But I have a feeling you're not necessarily here to just tell me about the Xanthros and Slivers and Anthems. What did you find in the vault?
Well, it's a
Recipe,
piece.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yes. It turned out to be a recipe, one of several, and to lack of better terms, once we have the whole recipe, all 5 pieces of it to be exact, it will again not form a treasure, but form a deadlier recipe. I guess.
It'll form
for lack of better
a
terms.
pizza that's capable of keeping back all of the undead in the world with how good it tastes. If
So
you
we're
will.
gonna call this new pizza a goddess special then. I like it.
Perfect.
A little bit of dough, sauce, cheese, pepperoni. Sounds good. Do you need help finding these ingredients?
Well, we do have Tetra on, I believe, 2 of them. And I'll begin to describe to her what was given to us as the clues, kind of show her the list, and show Dale the list without saying it out loud. But I wrote down the one that's hidden by the dragon, which is now officially crossed off. The one that was given to Wealthy Merchant, who kept it close to his heart, which we have a pretty substantial lead on.
Yeah.
Um,
A bit more
one
about
in the
him than I
Frozen
think we thought we
Waste,
had.
which we have a slight lead on, which Tetra agreed to look for, and then she pointed to you, of all people, for the one. No, sorry, she's gonna look into the one locked away far across the
The ocean.
realm, and
Yeah,
the one
realm.
entombed in the sea. She
Yep.
pointed to you for the one that we have a lead on with his locket, and the one about the Frozen Wastes.
Frozen wastes and a locket. Do you have the locket in question?
And then I'm just gonna give death eyes, just the deathest eyes to Darby.
Darby will pull the locket out from under his shirt.
Ah. So what seems to be the mystery behind the locket then?
We've been unable to
I'll
open
produce the map and just hold it towards Darby.
it. Also,
Well, damn,
thanks.
you got a little bit of a light show on your neck there.
Yeah,
I'll put
Can't
it
open
away,
the locket, you said. Dale
tried,
approaches.
tried several people.
and then show him who it
Wouldn't
belongs
believe.
to.
I'm assuming there's like some kind of marking that it's the stats.
Yeah, there is no marking that it's
Oh.
stats. It
Oh.
is an amateur. There is a language on there that is unreadable to you.
Well,
We knew it was his though.
we know it's his because we got it from. Well, I got it from someone under him. So
Okay.
I know that it's his, and I probably
Well,
told you
we
something.
seem to have an affinity for trouble with crime
Yeah.
bosses. This used to be owned by Lestat.
Yeah,
Well,
kind of why we're not
Wanna
Niggurath
have-
anymore.
man, you could steal a locket from anyone here in the damn realm, and it wouldn't be as bad as stealing from Lestat. Are there any markings, anything weird upon it?
Well, there's a language none of us can read.
Hireling, I've been around, let me see it.
I will show him the necklace, but I will not actually take it on. I will keep it on my neck and like have him like grab
Good
it from
man.
there.
Dale just grabs it, and he like tugs you, you pull forward. Darby is
A little
he
bit
starts
later,
examining.
maybe. I'll
Ah.
break it.
Jayla, do me a favor and confirm what I'm thinking here. You think our friend in Greta's might be able to read that? Jayla kind of walks up, gives it a look over. That's vampiric. Ancient language.
Well, fun.
Yep. You, my good friend, have a locket written with vampiric on it. Ancient dead language, as far as I'm aware. I've seen a few artifacts, scrolls, things written in it. Pretty much no one can read it. Hate to burst your bubble. But I, in fact, and Joel and Marie and Elise, and in some way, Jayla, might know someone that can give you a hand reading that. A scholar of sorts, a duke of sorts. If you're willing to make the journey, he's up here north of the Vanatirian Peninsula in a village called Gruttas. 2 ways to get there, and either go around the Goddess Lake, along the villages along the lake. It's probably a 2-week journey to get there. Or you can go a little safer and go along the main road for a 3-week journey. You'll go down through Bridgetown. There's a crossroads. Take the crossroads, it'll either take you to Igrath, but if you go north, it'll take you to Gruttis. All the way to the north of the peninsula. Can't miss it. I'm going to give you a
what's
quick
your friend's
word.
name?
Duke Seymour Ellington.
The Duke Seymour Ellington. Okay. I haven't talked to many dukes. I don't think any of us really have.
He's not actually a duke, though
Oh,
he
he's
does
one of
run the
those.
city.
I
He
see
does
it.
run the city of Gruttis. I'm going to give you a quick word of warning about Duke Seymour. He is eccentric, a little bit odd, and most of all, he is a vampire.
Yeah, okay. Always a cat.
Fantastic.
Always a cat.
How do you know a vampire?
Yeah.
Interesting story. About a year ago, I want to say. We got an interesting request at the pizza joint here. An order for 50 pizzas delivered to Gruttis.
With
Never
extra
heard of the
garlic?
place. Surprisingly, yes. Now, I'd heard the place none of the others had, and we decided to make a group delivery given the size of it. And there we met Duke Ellington and his daughter. And, yes, I was gonna say Jamie perked right up there. Yes, you got the joke. There you go. We met Duke Ellington and his daughter and some of the going-ons there in Gruttis. Let's just say that he took a fast liking to Joel, and it changed him a little bit. So, take with that as you will. He's a good guy. He won't do you any harm. He won't threaten you in any way. Just don't expect a normal sort of fellow.
Well, we helped out werewolves not too long ago. I guess it's
Yeah.
our time to work with some vampires. That's only
Oh, there
fair.
you go. And then for the other one, Jailer, you want to tell him about that one? Frozen Waste. Well, there's the northern kingdoms of Olin, north here of the Vanatirian Peninsula. You'll have to take a boat, though, to get up there, or you can travel through the deserts of Dorter and make your way north. There you'll find the Kingdom of Olin, currently ruled by Queen Morgan of Olin, their relatively new queen, and a personal friend of ours.
I seem to have friends everywhere, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, geez,
You know,
it's
talking
everybody.
to you guys, it appears that we get around a little bit. Joel, surprisingly, gets around a little bit. It's very strange. He has connections with the Crown, connections with vampires, connections with queens in other lands. It almost seems as if the world revolves around us in some weird way, shape, or form, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, well, some people would think it's a curse.
We're the main
Yes.
characters.
If you go north and, I'm sure, make yourselves known that you are friends of Joel, and Joel specifically, not me, do not mention me,
Could
they'll probably
pass,
welcome
huh?
you with open arms.
You're the champion. It seems like it's just so odd to me. And again, this comes as no offense. Jamie's not here. I'm not meaning to poke any holes.
I might.
You seem to make a lot of enemies for being such a nice person, Jayla. I just don't understand why.
Let's just say that there was a kingship dispute in Olin, and I opted to side with the side of custom and tradition, and Joel opted to side with the opposite of that. You can guess who won.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
If Queen Morgan of
She's a
Olin
tool
refers-
of the bourgeoisie.
If Queen Morgan of Olin refers to Joel as her fourth general, well, just take with that as you would.
I
Fair enough.
can't see him ever being a general, but alright.
Honestly, none of us can. The very fact that he holds that title is literally vomit-inducing to me.
I don't know if it's
Well,
that
if you want, whenever he does awaken from his slumber, if he even is sleeping, if you want to let him know that Sliva is gone, you can. It doesn't need to be said by us.
No.
He just needs to know.
Be sure to do that. It'll be the first thing I say to him when he comes down. I'm sure it will bring a bit of joy to him. Maybe.
I can't imagine it will. It never does. As much as
No.
revenge is something I enjoy or perpetuate I enjoy, it never fills anything.
Speaking of this elephant in the room right now, last night, Joel managed to procure a ceremony for Marilli to happen in 4 days. Procession out of the spot on the hill where we plan to bury her body. I'm sure that she would like it. Well, we would like it if the group would be willing to join. Be a few others there as well, Tetra included. You're by no means obligated, but I figure I would offer it to you.
I'll be
I
there.
know that Joel would do the same.
Be there.
I'm sure we can swing by.
Beautiful. 3 days from now. Start right fresh in the morning.
I'll let Jamie and Sentinel know.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Well, anything else for us?
It's-
More strange riddles. Can't tell you much about Cross the Sea, as I've never really left the Vanitarian Peninsula or Dolta. And I couldn't tell you about other worlds unless our esteemed champion here could. My memories are a little hazy when it comes to other worlds, so unfortunately I can't say much either. And I'm not a sailor.
It seemed like Tetra had a line on both of those, but we thank you for the information on the other two.
No problem. Tetra has a line on a lot of things. More lines than I think is safe for most people, but I'm just the guy who raised her, so what do I know? Well, I have a busy day of work ahead of me, and I have a owner of Pazzo's Pizza to awaken so he can get on with the day. Because even with death, time does not stop for anyone.
No, it does not.
Neither does pizza.
Jayla stands. I'll go and wake him up and let him know about Sliva, let him know what the group has agreed to. Thank you, everyone. It's been good to know all of you and make friends with some and I guess acquaintances with others.
Oh, this isn't goodbye. We'll see you around, Jayla.
Oh, I'm sure we will. If there is a recipe to end undead, then I'm interested. And she departs out the back of the room to head up the stairs to go fetch Joel.
I am actually going to say, I'll be right back, and I'm going to follow Jayla real quick.
Okay, Darian, does anyone else want to follow Jayla?
No, I'm good. I'm good to leave.
Arthur?
Oh,
I'll
do
let Darian go talk to him.
All right, so Darian, do you follow her in secret, or do you actually like tell her you're coming?
Oh, I'll tell her I'm coming with her, and then I'll stop her like at the top of the stairs because I want to chat with her.
Okay, so you guys make it to the top of the stairs, and she's like, "Okay, what's up?"
So, okay, out of character, Jayla is what race?
Human.
Human.
But she also has white hair and red eyes, just like you do.
Yes.
I'm gonna say.
Exactly like you.
So, Jayla,
Yeah,
you have
you
white
got a
hair.
bit of a makeover now that I'm looking at you.
Mm-hmm. You have white hair.
I do.
You also have red eyes.
I do.
You're also human.
I am.
What's your story there, Jayla?
I was born to a mother and father in a small farming village. I left my village after suffering a skin condition and was attacked by bandits, where I met the champion of Highwater, Joel Stevenson, who managed to talk the bandits down, and his loyal, at the time, servant, Marilli, and they took me in. And through some magic, my skin condition was cleared up, and through some other weird events, I became the champion of Highwater.
Has your hair always been white and your eyes red?
Yes. Can I see your hands real quick?
I suppose, and I'll give her my hands, but I also want an insight checker for the yes.
Go ahead,
her
give
hair is
me
always
an
red.
insight check.
That's shitty. Oh, holy shit! I have +9 to insight. Okay, 13.
it's tough to tell. You don't think she's being 100% truthful to you, but it's difficult to discern. And you kind of produce your hands, and Jayla gives him a quick glance over. Huh. How did you happen to come upon white hair and red eyes, if you don't mind me asking?
I died, Jayla. So when
Ah.
did you die?
I'm not dead. I've never been dead.
You're not telling me.
muted.
You're not telling me.
I
the
know, but
whole
I'm not
truth.
in there. I'm not in there.
I know, but it
I was
is.
say you're
it's
not
just
telling
really
me the
funny.
whole truth here, Jayla. I'm getting a strong feeling you're withholding some information. I just want to know what's going on.
I'll be honest and tell you that I'm the champion of Highwater who seeks to end the undead menace that attacks Elyssia, and that is all.
Oh, so we're gonna start a nice little trend of dishonesty between us. Good to know.
Well, isn't that an interesting way to put it? Let's just say I have my reasons for not wanting to say certain things to you. I don't know you well enough.
Okay, Jayla. Thank you for
Mr.
your time. And I'm just gonna
Dustin.
turn around.
She's a tool of the bourgeoisie. She's a constant threat of terrible harm to keep the status quo. She's a
And-
ceremonial position of power and destruction. Only
You're not
you-
there.
the
You're
people
not
of
there.
the-
Get out of here.
None of us are
Darian,
here.
do you go to leave?
Get
Yeah, I
out of
gotta
here,
leave.
Kingpin.
As you start making your way down the steps, Jayla does call back out to you. Darian, I do have a question for you. You said you died.
Yeah.
So, you didn't come back as an undead, though.
No, I have no idea what I came back as. All I know is my hair is white and my eyes are red and so are yours, and we both were human at some point.
Well, as far as I'm aware, am still human. I don't know about you. But, it's difficult to say what I am sometimes. Can we leave it at that?
I guess if you want, I'm just gonna go away.
Alright, you head back to Pazos. Or back in to meet the rest of the group. What else would you guys like to do? Would you guys like to return to the
I feel
Safari
like I
Inn?
should be
I
there
didn't
by
wait
now.
for Darian. I went back to
Yeah,
the
at this
Safari.
point, Jamie,
I
you've come on
took
in.
my
I am,
locket and I'm leaving.
I am going to jump down to Sentinel, though. So, Sentinel, you went off to get your axe fixed.
Yep.
So you found a nice blacksmith here in town. Hardy Dwarven gal, who, if you'll give me 1 second, I will grab her name. So you kind of come into this new blacksmith that you see here on the first layer. You've never seen it before. It seems like it's opened within the last few days. They have a grand opening sign on a big old piece of wood painted out front. And behind is a dwarf woman who is pounding away on a few axes. Pretty interesting to see dwarf women. Most people liken dwarves to the stout, bearded, hardy fellows, but she's she's hardy, but she doesn't have the beard. She's kind of got like nice hair. She's pretty cute looking for, you know, what you would expect a dwarf to be. And she's kind of clanging on this axe. And as you step in, she looks up and she goes, "Well, my stars, I've never seen a big bird like you before."
Well, thank you. The name's Sentinel.
"Oh, it's Vert Klangshield. Just opened this blacksmith last couple days ago. How's it going?"
I could say there's been better days, but there's been worse days. It's one of those days lately.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear it's been one of those days. You know, opening your very first blacksmith in a big city like this it's work, and I've been having a few days myself. You know, debtors and things like that coming on in here. I should worry you about that. What do you need?
Well, I got the case of the purple pudding.
Oh, those nasty things will corrode any equipment down.
Yep. And this here beak axe, this is a special thing, and it's like another limb, and I just hate to see it all bent out of shape, and so I was looking for someone to kind of give it a once over and bring it back to its former beauty.
Well, of course I can do that. Here, let me see it real quick.
And so I detach it from my beak and hand it over to her.
She takes it, she kind of examines it and sets it down. Oh, it's a real nice piece of craftsmanship. I'm I've never quite seen anything like this before. I've also never seen a big giant bird walk through my shop either. I could get this done for you right here in a jiffy. Couple hours maybe? It just needs a bit of reinforcing and some new metal, smelted onto it. I think it'll be right as rain. A little bit of sharpening.
Well, you seem like you know what you're doing.
I do. The old Clang Shield name, my father used to be a master smith back in the day. Though, I won't lie, I used to be his apprentice and I wasn't really getting his whole business venture there for a little bit. Things are just seemingly going wrong.
Well, I hope things go right for you.
Oh, well, I hope so too. It was so strange, He got married. I'm the eldest. He had me, and then all of a sudden, I started having all these little baby brothers, and they came on out and they're helping us around the shop and things, and all of a sudden, all of Father's items just started cracking and breaking like it was nothing. Things just were shattering and disintegrating. It's the strangest thing. And the mole baby brothers that we had, the mole things just seemed to crack and shatter.
Why do you think that is?
I have absolutely no idea. It's so strange to me. Everything, armor, weapons, just shatter like they were the brittlest things.
Just like when you pick them up?
You'd pick them up and they would just disintegrate in your hand.
Wow. I mean, it seems like a problem. Have you been able to solve it?
Well, I couldn't stand it anymore. I would build things. I built this wonderful piece of padded armor for a noble who was going out deer hunting. And when I went to present it to him, he put it on, disintegrated on him. It just cracked and fell to the ground.
Huh.
I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to go out on my own. So I told Daddy, I said, Daddy, till you can figure out why all your items are just cracking and disintegrating around here. And I don't know why. I'm going out and doing my own thing.
Have things disintegrated on your end?
I haven't. I've moved out and I've done plenty of arms and weapons for people. I haven't had a single issue.
Well, that's good, because I'd rather not have my beak-axe disintegrate.
Well, I can promise you that the Clang Shield name stands strong with Vert, and she'll keep and take this, to the next level for you.
Well, thank you.
All right, 5 hours. I have it done for you in 5 hours.
Okay, I'll see you in
And then
5.
I said 3 silver, so she asked
Yeah.
me 3 silver up front. If you'd like to pay her.
I hand it over.
All right, and Vert goes to making your beak-axe, which will be ready in 5 hours.
All right.
You may return to the party if you'd like.
I will. I will sit
so
outside of her shop for 5 hours.
I mean, you can if you
Wait.
want.
No. I'll go back to the Zafar Inn.
Stand
you guys
in the shop
all-
for 5 hours.
You guys
having
all
small talk.
make your way back to the Zafar Inn. Jamie, you met up with them at Pazzo's. I'm assuming there's someone you want to talk to before we move on here.
Yes, I have to talk to Elise.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you have to give her a job. Yeah, that'd be real weird if she didn't have
They're
a job.
crime boss now.
come swing by.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. She's a
I
crime
have-
lord now.
I have to go to, I'm gonna talk to Elise. So I would be like, hey, Elise, how's your leg? First of all.
Hey, Jamie, it's doing a lot better. I'm working on it. Put a little more weight on it. Enough to serve pizzas. And she holds up a tray of pizzas that she sets on someone's table.
Super cool. I will do a medicine check just to double check and,
Sure.
and to see if I can do anything to make her recovery better. That's 18.
18, Jamie, if you were to provide her a healing potion, it would probably go a long way to help with her
I
recovery.
will give her one of the healing potions.
Elise takes it, and she kind of looks at it, looks at you, and goes, "Are you going to tell me to take my medicine?"
That is part of my job description.
Well, down the hatch! And she just chugs this potion, makes a face, and then hands you back the empty bottle.
Thank you. We have to talk about something, Elise. First
Well,
of
yeah,
all,
what
how's
do you got?
everybody? How's the network going?
Oh, it's doing good. I mean, Grizzly's keeping up on things. Some of the kids, they've been providing some pretty good information. I heard that on the third later that some nobles are having an affair with each other. This is like hot gold right now for us kids.
That's great, and we should definitely keep an eye on that just to make sure we know who's on whom's side on that whole thing. Real quick, Elise, I want to have a conversation with you about Your ambition. What do you want to do with your life exactly?
You know, it's kind of hard to say. Well, you know, when I met Joel, he told me that I could be really anything I wanted to be, and well, he was keen to offer me this job, and I've been really grateful that he offered me this job. So I
Yeah.
don't really know.
It's a nice job. You have. I just want to let you know, and obviously you know this, but you have so much life to live. You're
Oh,
going to be
thank you.
doing a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and I want to talk to you about not only this city, but just the concept of high water in general. You know
Actually,
that.
can
Oh,
I
go ahead.
talk to you about an idea that I had too?
Hit me up, Elise. What is your idea?
Okay. I had this idea. You know,
Uh-huh.
so Joel came up with this whole pizza delivery idea. And you know, he
Mhm.
gathered up all the orphans so that they could take orders from the people around Highwater, bring them
Mhm.
here, and then I deliver the pizzas. But I was
Mhm.
thinking, like, why couldn't you do that with other things? Why not create a system of delivering letters to people? Like, you know, someone would come with a whole bunch of letters, and then you'd have a bunch of people just run out and deliver all of the letters to people.
That actually sounds like a great idea. Communication's one of the things to lay for a society for it to thrive. And I have an idea, not only that would probably help with that, but also kind of help with things here around Highwater.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you, it might be a little scary. Are you up for something that's a little more difficult?
I mean, it depends on what it is.
Good, good, good. So, you remember how Sliva was Sliva, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I owed a life debt to him for a little bit.
And you know how he was running the entire city apparently for some time.
More or less.
Okay, so I have taken over that position.
Well, congratulations, that's a promotion.
It is something for sure, and I'm trying really hard to make sure that we turn it into something that's a little bit more positive and a lot less murder.
I love it.
Yeah. And so I can't be around all the time because I have to make sure that those, you know, the idiots across the street stay alive. And I'm looking for someone who's able to basically do what you're doing now with the orphan network and just keeping things running smoothly when I'm not around, to do that with my new organization. And
You
you
know, I
were the
think.
first one on my short list.
Oh, oh, me? Oh, um, like you want me to be Sliva?
No, I would be Sliva. You would just
Oh,
be the person who would hold the chair if I'm out of the office. And
wh-
then when I get back, you just give me the notes.
what about Pazos?
You could still do that if you want. I
Oh,
just,
I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. They would just, if someone had a question and I wasn't around to answer it, they would just come to you, and I would trust you to have the best interest in the city.
So, counter offer, I'm also not around sometimes because Joel has me deliver things outside the city.
Oh,
But I got a buddy. It's me on the Orphan Network, and then there's my buddy Grizzly. He's like 2 years younger than me, so he's coming into his own. He's figuring it out. But Grizzly might be able to, hold that spot.
I don't actually know Grizzly. It's one of
You've usually talked to me. I don't think you've ever met Grizzly before. He's a good guy, though. We've worked together for 7 years, him and I've known him since he was 4. He's 13 now.
well, Elise, I trust your judgment. So if you want to have set up a meeting between you, Grizzly, we can work out a whole system in place. I'm all about delegation. If I'm not there, then they go to you. If you're not there, then they go to Grizzly, and everybody makes sure that the city runs smooth.
To Grizzly, I'm sure he would love that. That would be a huge thing for all the orphans. I guess they wouldn't really be orphans anymore. They'd just be like crime bosses.
Yeah. The city would
Crime bosses.
Oh no, there's still crime. I don't really think I can talk them out of that. So the crime will. It's just maybe not so much of the murder. Maybe ease them into leg breaking and then work our way up to stern letters that you could deliver. Should you?
Oh, my
want to
mail
do
system
something
would
like that?
work then. It's a whole
Yeah.
thing I have an idea for. I'm calling it the HWPS, the High Water Postal Service, and it's gonna go all around the city and deliver this mail.
And it'll be a
And
great
there'll be
way
no
for-
problems ever with it. People will always get their mail on time, and
And they
it'll
will
never
love
get
their
lost
job.
or destroyed or damaged.
They'll love their jobs, and at no point will they come in with a crossbow and take it out on anybody.
Exactly, it'll be perfect.
I agree, and it sounds with 100% foolproof. So, cool. I just want to let you know about that, and eventually we'll get all that under control. But again, like I said, you don't have to change a whole lot about life. It's just if I'm not around, somebody might ask you a question, and if you don't know the answer, I'll find a way for you to get in touch with me. You can leave it at the inn, and we'll have someone take care of it.
I'll go let Grizzly know what's going on here and see if I can convince him to be a delegee.
Sounds like a good plan.
I feel like middle-level management now. This is, like, cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And it's also something that you don't need to tell Joel or Dave about. Or anybody, actually.
It's okay. I keep some of my orphan business a hush-hush from them. I got an agreement with Joel that I was done with all that, but I'm not really done with all that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I like that. And who knows? Pazos might be able to be a hopping new spot. Or else. So yeah, okay, cool.
Or else.
I'll see you later. It was good. Always a pleasure talking to you. Good business.
Yep. Have a good one, Jamie. I'll see you later. I'll let you know when the, offers you can't refuse start coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll leave
All right, you
to
head
go back
on.
to the inn.
All right, you head on out where Sentinel, Arthur, Darby, and Darian are waiting for you, Jamie.
This man just put a bunch of children in charge of known
Yep.
criminals that
Yep.
have murdered and maimed people for years.
Technically, I'm still in charge, but yes, I
Yes.
have put them in a position of authority. Correct.
Yep.
They're the
And-
ones being affected by these people.
I
If
know.
anything, they
I
should
just think
have
it's
the
really funny
ability
that
to-
a bunch of 10-year-olds are going to tell these known criminals what to do while you're not there.
As we've
Correct.
established, if there's money to be made and it's consistent money, people are willing to change their minds.
People will
Yeah.
just fall in
Just
line.
do it. Money
How
is
many
Especially if you're
people-
taking care of their family and people, man. That was the smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're turning this business into something different, something a little bit less
That's how you
murdery.
buy loyalty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody eats. Everyone's a lot happier to keep the wheels turning. So yeah, I go back to the inn. I should probably tell everybody about this at some point, but it has yet to come up in conversation.
Sentinel's the only one who knows.
That's the
Yeah.
only one who knows.
Yeah. So you guys are all back at the inn now. Ornox has been just talking Skipper's ear off, and Skipper's just keeps feeding him grilled cheese, and he just keeps staring at them, and it's
It's
disintegrating.
beautiful.
He's probably eating like 80 grilled cheese at this point. Your like food stores are just diminishing as
Oh,
he's
wow.
just devouring this food.
That's a mistake.
Ugh.
But he's
You
telling
should've
him
thought about
tales of the old times.
We might need to tell Skipper to lighten up on those
I mean, it's a
cheeses.
good thing out of all the food that you can feed someone, grilled cheese is pretty cheap.
It is
Yeah.
the cheapest thing you can do.
It
It's like-
it is among
it's
some
not
of our
bad.
cheaper stocks, but
Not
It's
the way
not bad.
Skipper makes it.
yeah,
Yeah,
with his
it's just-
37
Area.
cheeses.
He's
Yeah,
not
but-
making grilled cheeses. He's making freaking everything else.
Yeah, he's making it.
No,
he's
he's been feeding Ornox just regular grilled cheese because that's what the dragon ordered.
Alright.
Nice.
Well,
Finally,
we still
someone
might
Excuse me,
wanna
the
wanna,
dwarf ordered.
we might want to give him.
Our lovely
a little
cryptic
bit of-
old man whose name is Cryptic Old.
Arthur, Darby, and Darian, do you share with Sentinel and Jamie what you learned from Jayla and Dale?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll tell them about how we've got a lead on the locket recipe. Apparently, there is a vampiric duke of the town of Grutters to the north
Mhm.
that could help us read that locket and figure out what's inside, or how to get inside, because we know what's inside. And then the Frozen Wastes is probably the town of Olin. And again,
Kingdom of Olin, not town.
sorry, Kingdom
Kingdom,
of
yes.
Olin.
Yes.
And again, Joel somehow mysteriously has wooed the leader of said kingdom,
Ugh, so good.
Morgan.
Yeah.
He is her 4th general, believe it or not. So we have another lead
Don't
there.
How?
But I'd like
I
to
don't
hear
know.
again, Jamie. It's a mystery. I don't understand. He has some sort of. He probably has some innate spell casting where he just charms everyone.
Honestly,
But
he
I
might.
just
Except
It
you
is-
guys.
continuously, yeah. But I do know Tetra's supposed to give us some information on the other one, so we can kind of come together as a group and see which one we want to tackle next.
That makes sense. Sounds like a plan to me. All of that is good. Yeah.
Oh, and then
Also,
I'll
one more
also
piece
tell
of
them.
information.
Yes, I'll also tell them about we can't even once we figure out where we're going, we're not going to go anywhere until 3 days from now at least,
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
Morelli's burial is in 3 days. Her ceremony. And
Yes.
I have agreed to attend that.
Makes sense. That's appropriate. Yeah.
Also, might be
All
right.
right.
I think that was everything.
Yeah, I think.
I believe
that
it
covers
is.
everything we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
I will
So,
compliment
the-
Sentinel on his newly commissioned beak axe if he has it yet. Oh, no,
Uh,
it's
You
already-
eventually are able to
Yeah.
pick it up, Sentinel, and you have your repaired dice pickaxe.
Yeah, I met a lovely dwarf woman on the first layer. She just started a new
Ooh.
business, and so if you guys are ever looking for some blacksmithing, she might be someone to throw a little gold her way. Also, her dad
That's,
has a hardening problem. The more kids he has, they're
You can stop. Just no.
all his metal just disintegrates, and
Okay.
That
so
can't be
Happens-
healthy.
happens to
That
the
can't
best of us.
It's fine.
That's-
One
he should
informed
really get
man.
that checked.
Sentinel,
so
one
I don't
informed
know
man.
if any of us want to go help him out or something.
That's not my area of
Yeah,
expertise, my
I'm not a
friend. Sorry.
blacksmith.
I mean, I've never heard of that. If that's a medical condition, I mean, he can always come down to the clinic.
Yeah, I don't know if they correlate, but it's an interesting situation.
It sounds interesting for sure. Oh yeah, and I'll mention the box of stuff that I'm holding because I've come from there, and I'll just be like, oh, and by the way, I think we're gonna get another resident here at the inn. By the way, just in case they haven't got here already.
Okay.
Nim has not arrived yet, but now that you mentioned
I
it,
am.
Jamie, Nim and Peck just stroll through the hall. Nim and Peck have arrived.
Well, that is impeccable timing.
Have
Are they
Ah.
carrying nachos?
never seen Nim
He
actually.
has a big bowl of nachos, and he has melted cheese. And he's got like meat and black.
I don't think
olives and
any of us
salsa.
have seen Nim except for Jamie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
it.
Oh yeah.
This is.
yeah, that's true.
Nobody knows who this robot is.
No, not-
Is this our new resident? Was it
This is
just?
a robot and a
He's
mouse.
gonna be happy if anybody else smells toast because he thinks he's having a stroke.
That's so
I can't say that I do.
And
What?
there's grilled cheese being made, so he definitely smells toast.
That's so
Oh
silly.
yeah.
As Nim walks in, he holds up the bowl. He goes, "Nim and Peck have arrived to make the sex and then eat the nachos."
Oh yeah.
Jamie,
that's,
Dr. Watts, where have you been?
What have you been doing?
oh yeah. So
Is that where that box came from? Are you doing some stuff with Nim?
couple things? One, the church can create sentient thought, something that I think you should probably look into as a whole. Two,
Yes,
this is
whatever.
Nim, and he's gonna be staying with us now. And also, you remember Peck?
Yep.
Yeah, no, Peck, I'm not surprised by. The mouse looks somewhat
Okay,
familiar.
what about
Hi.
this sex thing?
Yeah, what's
Hi.
going on with that?
Hi,
Oh
Nim.
yeah.
I'm Arthur.
Ah, you are Arthur. He walks right up to you. Jamie has requested that Nim request from you the sex.
Yeah.
What? have you been doing, Jamie?
Oh, laugh! I'm gonna
That-
laugh
this-
on my way to the lab. And, like,
They
you guys
may, this may be my quickest proposition, but Nim, no, thank you.
Nim understands and will respect your consent.
great job, Jim.
You, human male with white hair, would you like to participate in sex and nachos with Nim?
Actually, I'm not gonna go to the lab. This is great. I'm gonna stay here.
Just starts getting down the stairs, hears that question, goes, nope, never mind.
No,
nope,
I gotta
no.
hear this.
Nim, what do you think sex is?
Yeah.
Sex is the taking of items from adults with their permission. So if you and I make the sex, Nim will give you gear, and the sex will have been performed.
Nim, are you familiar with the basic processes of reproduction?
Yeah. Nim creates offspring by assembling them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
They are
Uh,
Nim's friend.
I think you might have missed the bullet on that one.
Nim, I don't know what Dr. Watts has told you, but you should not ask people for the sex. Instead,
But Nim is
That's
doing
okay.
it consensually.
Yes,
That
that's
is
not
correct.
the problem.
consent
That
is
is good.
key for sure, Nim.
Yes.
However,
Yes,
might I suggest, instead of asking people for the sex, ask them if they would like a gift of your gear or other
Whatever else
items.
you decide to.
Because-
Jamie, Nim is confused. Is this
Yep.
appropriate?
Some people are a little repressed, so if you were to go up and just ask them for sex, it might make them feel uncomfortable. Which
that
is why
the
I was
problem?
uncomfortable.
Jamie
when
is
you first said
sabotaging
it.
you to make you make
So
more people
what I would
uncomfortable.
say, what I would say going forward is instead of asking people for sex, why don't you just get to know them? Eventually, if that's something that they would like from you, I'm sure they'll ask.
Ah, Nim understands now. Human male with white hair. Would you like a gear as a gift?
Sure, Nim, thank you.
He just drops it at your feet. We have
I-
now performed the giving of gifts. But the nachos are for sex. And he just throws the ball against the wall and it just explodes.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is what it feels like when you guys bring random people over to the house.
No, I can assure you, the random
No
media
one.
brought have never thrown
No
food at
one.
the wall.
no
After
one we have brought
asking
over
us
has
for
walked in
sex.
and said, "Can I have the sex with you?" and then threw their bowl of nachos at the wall. That has
That
never
is
happened in here until you
technically
brought someone in.
Correct. That's technically correct. You are right.
Oh,
You
God.
are. You
I don't
are
think anything
correct.
has been weirder than this.
Nim,
Yes.
you are more than welcome to stay here with us. You may
What
have to
will
learn.
Nim do?
I don't know.
That's the
whatever.
question. What does Nim like to do?
Nim likes to build things and play mouse chess with Pack.
Oh yeah, there's a mouse chest now. There's
Oh, boy.
one more chest.
How many?
Well, I'm sure
people
we
just
can
keep
set up a
making
mouse
shit.
chess board for you and Peck, but if there's something that you'd like to do job-wise, just by observing people, I'm sure you'll see people clean, you'll see people make drinks, whatever interests
Nim.
you.
Nim likes talking to Jamie and likes talking to all of you. Nim would like to talk to more people.
Yes.
You are more
Well,
than welcome
Nim,
to talk
there's
to whoever
always-
you want to, Nim.
There's always help to be done in the clinic for sure. I could always use the help there. You can feel free to build whatever you want. I have a whole lab downstairs that is open for you to use stuff. And if you want to make any cool improvements to this place, we're going to have builders coming through, and your technical expertise, I'm sure, would be invaluable to making this place something worth seeing.
Nim will be sure to ask builders if they wish for Nim's help.
There you go.
Is that also sex?
No.
No, but it
No.
is polite, Nim,
Yes.
and that is
Nim
great. Or
Likes
that
to
doable.
be polite.
Good.
That makes probably
course,
one
buddy.
of us.
Yeah, it makes
great.
at least one person in this room.
Sentinel's pretty polite.
Yeah, Sentinel's boy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nim
Nice guy.
immediately like walks over to Aranax, who just like looks at him, and they just start talking to each other. And a very fast friendship forms between these two, as Nim likes to listen and Aranax likes to tell stories. And
That's
he
great.
just stands there and listens to him. And Jamie, as this is happening, you watch, he just looks over at you, Nim does, and he goes,
This is great. This is
Okay.
exactly right. We got an old cryptic guy. We got a automaton friend. Got nachos on the wall. Honestly, guys, I think this is going great.
"There's someone who makes you grilled
Remodel,
cheese."
remodel
Skipper.
is going fantastic.
This is gonna run itself.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
Into the ground.
so Jamie, you're gonna deal with those nachos, right? That's your friend that caused the problem.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I have to go down to the lab to do stuff.
Yeah,
Bye.
of course you do. Of course you do.
Just going down to the lab.
I don't know about you guys, but if that's what we're gonna deal with right now, I've got some gambling to do. If not, I'm sure it can wait.
I'll clean the freaking nacho.
Okay.
Darian
cool.
cleans the nachos off the wall.
Thanks, Darian.
Yeah,
If you
very
sneak
nice
a bite,
of you.
if you sneak a bite, Darian, they're quite tasty.
I'll sneak a bite.
All right, so you guys all go about your days. If you're all good, we'll have 3 days pass to get to the funeral. Jamie, if you were making potions in that time, you can obtain 3 potions. Darby, I'm assuming you're
Oh
gambling.
yeah, no, I will definitely be out.
Give me a sleight of hand roll.
Stuffs. What do we got here for sleight of hand? Oh yeah, that's right. I have like kind of decent. Wow, I am rolling terribly. That's a 6.
Wow, they rolled an 8. You still lost. You owe them 5 silver.
Dang.
I
I need to
had
go get myself
a
a charlatan's die. I swear.
You got another one.
I have.
Like at
I
the
had,
very beginning.
I want
an
a decent amount of money.
anti-poison brewing
That is true.
Yes.
before we left.
Unless you started
I
that.
was gonna do this. I was
So,
gonna do
so
the
you
same
can
thing.
obtain like an antidote. I'd have to look and see if there's an official D&D item for this, but it could
There
remove the
is.
poison.
Yeah.
There is. It gives you advantage against the poison. Against saves against the poison condition. That's what it.
There we go. That is what you have then.
Because I was
Fine,
gonna
yeah.
make this. I was also doing that during that time.
Yeah, you guys were doing it together.
So,
Oh.
Darian, if you were making those over the course of 3 days, you also have 3 of those.
Done deal.
Question for you: did Tetra ever follow up on her other 2 leads, or no? We've not.
Not
seen
yet. She has not returned in the 3 days. And
But
then
I
Sentinel,
do remember them saying that she will be at the ceremony, though.
Yeah.
Sentinel, anything for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit Nugs and take some more singing lessons along
You-
with Nugs.
You take some singing lessons with Nugs, and she is quite happy to have you singing with her.
Screaming.
You guys cluck together loudly and sing the songs of your people.
Yes.
You said 1,500. We owe the Masons because I'm sure I'm gonna have to pay them sometime
Yeah,
in that period.
1,500 would be the next when they show up, and they have received your note, Arthur.
Okay.
And actually, within those 3 days, on day 3, right before the funeral, so I guess day 2 would technically. On day 2, one of the Masons actually taps you on the shoulder, Arthur, and he holds up a large sign, the sign that you commissioned that said Marili's Menagerie on it.
I will take
Aw.
the sign, and before we head over to the ceremony, I will hang it above the back of the bar. So it will hang above where we keep all the bottles and barrels for the brews and stuff.
All right. You guys now have a sign that says Marili's Menagerie at the back of your bar to commemorate your departed friend.
Ooh. When I see that, first of all, I'm gonna give Arthur like a that nice work there, and I am going to. For over these last 3 days, you've seen me in my lab a lot. Like I haven't been out with all of you guys. A lot of patients have been coming in, but not actually getting medical attention as far as they're aware. But one of the things that I do is I come back. When does the sign come in? Day 2 or 3?
Day 2.
Day 2. It comes morning, day 2.
Cool. On day 3, when you wake up, the sign is illuminated. Like it'll like it has like a thing, and it like moves, light and colors shift around it. And you guys see like a bunch of like copper wiring and little glass things around it to kind of like give it like this cute, like this sparkly
Very cool.
thing. I don't really. We don't have to say it. We don't. Words don't have to be exchanged.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But like, it's just like
That's great.
all right. Like, all right. I like that.
Look at my sign we've been adding.
All right. Cool. So yeah, awesome. Well done.
So day 3 has arrived, and you guys, days finally come, and there's a light snow outside here in Highwater that is slowly drifting down amongst the city. In some way, the sunless sky feels fitting. You prepare for the long and cold, damp day ahead of you. Perhaps to some of you, this day has very little meaning, or is more of a formality. But to those closest to Marilli, this is an outcome that none expected. A fine casket of oak is placed in an open cart. Nugs will bear the burden of carrying it. The Pazos family is dressed in their very best. Even Joel, who seems to have bought a fine set of dress clothes for this event. It's probably the cleanest and most formal you've ever seen him. The procession heads out, with you joining it, as well as a host of other people. Tetra for one, as well as other citizens of Highwater, from Governor Core to Captain Cromley, all making their way through Highwater. And per the customs of Elyssia, a bishop of the Church of the Goddess leads the procession through the city. He chants simple words in Elven, and for those that understand those words, he says, "Goddess, take this spirit in you. Absolve this spirit. Bring comfort to those this spirit leaves behind." This is a very common phrase that anyone who's lost someone here in Elyssia would be incredibly familiar with. Probably all except for Joel. Though your possession is not large and consists mostly of some commoners, maybe a few higher class here in the city, you realize that all of them knew Marilli, and that they follow along to honor her. To the people of Highwater, just another person has passed away, and they go about their lives on this snowy day. But to Joel, he sees none of this. Across the magical bridge that leads into the city, the procession heads up the road and only breaks off as you approach a large hill with a single grand tree upon it. It overlooks most of the Elysian countryside, currently shrouded in a slight fog. And the forest line of the misty woods serves as its backdrop. A hole has already been dug deep, and as Nugs pulls the cart next to it, Joel Dale and Governor Core, despite his age, pull the casket off of the cart and slowly lower it into the dirt. The bishop stands over the hole and says his words. "It is in the goddess's will that we are born of the flesh and will live of the flesh, according to her will. Here we arrive at the end of the journey for one. Flesh returns to earth, but we shall not look to the dirt. For the spirit resides within the goddess, in an eternal bliss. Today will be a day to mourn, but we also must remember to celebrate the life of a friend." He chants more in an ancient elven script, lost to most. None here could understand it. And when he finishes, he looks to the group and asks, "Does anyone have any words that they would like to say?" If anyone has anything they'd like to say, they can. Yeah. As there's a
Really
moment of
sad.
silence. I'm sorry, did someone say something?
This is really sad.
Well, I don't have anything to say, so.
As there is a silence, Dale taps Joel on the shoulder and gives him a nod. Joel steps up, takes a deep breath, and says, well, I got asked by all of Pazos, so like I'm kind of gonna talk to them here, for them here, real quick, and I think most people think I'm really good at talking and stuff, but I'm gonna give this one a shot. So when I got summoned as champion, like 2 years ago, I don't know, something like that. Marili was the first person that I talked to. Like I had a legit conversation with, nothing with the bishops or the pontiff at the time or anything like that. It was just her. It was super weird, awkward, and I'm like 100% sure that he hated my guts when we were done talking. But Miri kind of, despite all that, and despite like how I was, she was always really loyal. And she always cared, probably a little too much at times. No, I shouldn't say that. She cared right up to the end. Miri was the best of us, best of me. She's the heart of the little family that we've put together here, our, Pazos Pizza family. And now that she's gone, it's gonna be a bit of a time before I think that heart is gonna start beating again. That oven that Pazos, it gets real hot. If you're standing back there in that back room, Dale's got it going full blast, and he's putting pizzas in and out, and tons of people in the store. It just gets hot, and I'm thinking it might be a little cold in there for a while. I don't know if it'll actually ever be quite as warm as I remember it being. Hey, Miri, I'm glad that, of anyone I met in Elyssia, it was you. And that'll never change. I'll always think of you as, my best friend. And even, when we were fighting and had our struggles and stuff like that, you mattered to me more than anything. I'm sorry that I let this happen, and Joel can't say anymore. He turns away from the group, takes a step back from the grave, holding back his tears. Elise goes to comfort him. With Dale's help, you fill in the hole, covering the dirt mound with flowers. And as the funeral ends, the procession begins to depart. And the only one who remains at the grave is Joel. And as you leave, as you go to head back to your lives at the Zafar Inn, to your underground dealings, your map questing, you hear Joel standing above the freshly filled in grave. You hear him say, "Is this really it? Miri, you brought me back to life, and I couldn't do the same for you, Miri. I heard what you said. I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you to feel like I never did enough for you. I'm sorry if you hated me. I'm so sorry." And with that, we will end tonight's session.
All right, then.
Good. Make it sad. All of you suckers weep at home. You're weak.
Wow. We're hitting hard
Damn,
with it.
Ethan. Wow.
Lovely.
DM.
Lovely
DM.
stuff. Lovely
Wow.
stuff. Lovely stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was really sad.
Yeah, that was great. I like that a lot.
Love the music, man. It is
Yeah, no,
The
that
music
was really-
scared me
It's
apart.
really-
Somebody
Yeah,
Pull
right.
changed
the
the
emotion
music.
out of your chest, man. You did a great job, Ethan. That was phenomenal. You don't get praised
very,
enough.
very Spider-Man 1. Winter
Yeah.
funeral regression.
Oh yeah.
I'm all
great,
about
man.
it.
So
great.
that
Damn.
ends the third arc of our Elyssia campaign. So tune in next week, Monday, as we start the fourth arc of our campaign and go from there. I am very much looking forward to seeing where things go. We appreciate all of our viewers, and
Yeah.
you guys are the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a note to end it on.
Hey,
Hey, tune in next week. It's gonna be sad.
still
Yeah.
sad.
It'll probably
Still goddamn sad.
We need to get
Sad.
some, like,
say
we need to get some Earth, Wind, and Fire up in the chat to perk up my mood again. Jeez.
Man,
Months
wow.
of September.
Hey,
Exactly.
you know what?
I-
Like sometimes life is sad though. Sometimes you can't all
Yeah,
have
you
happy
know,
episodes.
It's
you
not,
can't
it's not
all
all Nim
do-
asking people for sex. I mean,
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
right.
all freaking
That's why you love stories.
Ratatouille-esque restaurant
Ratatouille
shenanigans.
hijinks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes
Hey,
it's just
that's right. That's what
Man.
makes you love
nice.
stories, though, is you
Yeah,
go through
yeah,
things with the
yeah.
characters, man. That's great.
You
Yep.
gotta get that. I like that. I also like that none of us said anything. Because I think I was wondering, I was like, because we as much time as we spent, but really like we're not like
I don't really
her
know
friend.
we're not
her.
close
Yeah.
with her. I wanted to give the
Yeah,
option in case someone wanted to, but no, I think
No,
that
I had
no
I
one
would
saying
as
anything
as
was
a as
fitting.
a as a person, I really struggled with it because I really wanted to say something, but I'm like Arthur. Even if Arthur was best friends with Millie, which I'd probably say of the party members, Arthur was pretty close to her. He would not say anything. He would not go up there
Yeah.
and do it. So I'm like, I can't make him do it. So
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things where it was just like we will honor Marilli in our own way, and we will let her family essentially
yeah,
like we're
Just do
just
the
here as
yeah.
we're just here as support. I liked that a lot because I was like, it was real, and we felt like it makes it feel like the world is bigger.
Yeah.
Where like not every single person is like the most important person to us, and we're not the most important to them, and so it's
Right.
like that's great, super good, super good.